Okay. So, we did a little bit of DK testing before, but I think I'm going to run it back. Because I want to make a DK on my sort of active alpha account. The one that Liz set up for us, which is very nice. But yeah, we gotta get our guy going, man. Gotta get him fired up for reals. It'll be cool, right? I think so, I think so. I do want to play a little bit of Ret Paladin. I think we'll probably do DK, like, during the day today. And then tonight we'll come back and we'll do Ret Paladin. I think that would be good. But yeah, I don't know. I want to do more Death Knight, I think. And I also want to actually go through their talents and stuff, too. So it'll take a minute to set it up, but shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. Be just fine. That's what I'm thinking. Let's do it. Get our guy going. Not Paladin, no sir. Go another way with it. That is Heroth. I think we're on the Adrin, right? That looks fine. He's gonna have his helmet on all the time anyway. Like that look though. That'll work, that'll work. Let's get our little abilities and whatnot set up too. Get down to business. See about it, huh? Could go and I want to do a little talent run through on this guy too.
People are
We might mess around with him first.
Of a radiant song all across Azeroth. We have reason to believe
First
it's
things
a
first.
warning of some kind. Meet me in Silithus.
We are gonna edit my stuff real quick though.
Azeroth's speaker can shed some light on what this warning might mean.
Set up dim bars. Are we worried about a flying mount? Yeah, sorta, aren't we? Yeah, sorta. Okay. Oh my goodness. So, I think we tend to play Riders of the Apocalypse, but we'll see. Oradon, welcome back, man. Big flex for you, pumping us up. First race, 6.6K in 42 minutes. Pumped to do more. Yeah, man, that's just the beginning. Just the beginning. Way to go, man. Sounds like you had fun. Yeah, dude. It is cool to, like, put yourself out there a little bit, isn't it? Kind of nice. Kind of nice. Or more horsemen. Let's do that one. It's I'm the same way with bodybuilding, man. It's fun to put yourself out there and just see what you got, you know? Cool. I like that. Way to go, man. Proud of you for doing it to it. I don't usually use Sand Lane. Is Sand Lane good? I don't know. Probably. I think I like the big time summoner style is kind of what DK seems like, so more of that seems good. That sucks, Sentoki. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that really hurts. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see, what are we interested in? Is this the starter build? I think the starter build will unspec my stuff though. I don't want that. Right, like all your utility stuff is down here. It's so weird. It says that it removes your stuff, but it's like, doesn't it do that already? Weird. Doesn't it already do that? Interesting. It is kind of cool that you actually do have Apex talents to try. So we could like unspec some of this stuff and do Apex stuff, but I'm not really ready to do that. Not really at the moment. Lightning Sleet's good. He has a talent for Mind Freeze, is kind of odd. Kind of weird. I do want to read through these a bit. See what the heck's going on. I'll read through them a dang self first. What's up, Lance? This is kind of crazy, though. A lot to look through. We could just look through. We could just read through them now. Maybe we ought to. Yeah, I wasn't like a huge fan of the wounds personally either. Not really. Hey Boshi, thank you so much, man. Big flex for you too, pumping us up with it, man. Thank you, dude. All right. Maybe we should. Maybe we should. Maybe that's like the perfect idea. So, I've played a little bit of Unholy DK on the alpha before, and I liked it. They definitely revamped it into a bit of like a summoner, like necromancer style thing, which I think is pretty cool. I'm gonna make another one though. And since we are just kind of getting this started, I think what I'll do is, I mean, I'm gonna read through the talents so right now, so I may as well do this together, I suppose. Take a look at our Midnight Alpha Unholy DK talents, right? So let's just do it. Let's just start from the beginning. So the talent build that I have set up right now is just like, I just logged in and it's like this, but again, I'm just gonna read through it. I'm gonna read through it anyway. Let's do it together. So IBF is, you know, one of your first talents. This is like one of your big defensive cooldowns. 2-minute CD, you know, it makes you immune to stuns and reduces all damage you take by 30% for 8 seconds. So I feel like a lot of defensive cooldowns that I've seen are like a 2-minute cooldown is like your big defensive cooldown. So that makes sense. Death Strike costs runic power, and it gives you a heal. It heals you for 32% of all damage taken in the last 5 seconds. Minimum of 11.2% of maximum health at minimum. So that's kind of like your on-demand resource costing sort of in-combat heal. Then you have Raise Dead, where it raises a ghoul to fight by your side. You can have maximum of 1 ghoul at a time, lasts 1 minute. And Unholy DK, I think, doesn't have to worry about that part, right? Because you definitely have a ghoul all the time. So, then you have Runic Attenuation. Auto attacks have a chance to generate some runic power for you. Death Strike's cost is reduced by 10, and its healing is increased by 60. So, is this usually 45 runic power, and now it's this? Maybe. Cleaving Strike, Scourge Strike, and Festering Strike deal 10% increased damage, which is cool. You have Mind Freeze, which is your interrupt. Interrupts for 5 seconds if you use Mind Freeze when somebody's casting. Blinding Sleet is a AoE kind of disorient kind of deal. And also slows them afterwards, which is kind of cool. You have Anti-Magic Barrier, reduces the cooldown of Anti-Magic Shell by 20 seconds and increases its duration and amount absorbed by 30%, which is cool. You have a choice between March of Darkness, where Death's Advance grants an additional 25% movement speed over the first 3 seconds, or Wraith Walk, where you embrace the power of the Shadowlands, removing all root effects and increasing your movement speed by 70% for 4 seconds. Taking any action cancels this, but while active, your movement speed cannot be reduced below 170%, so kind of cool. That's like your on-demand super zoom on a 1-minute cooldown. I might take that for now. Unholy Momentum, haste is increased by 2%. So control undead, you can dominate the target undead creature up to level 81, forcing it to do your bidding for 5 minutes. Okay. Maybe sometimes kind of cool in dungeons, right? Your ghoul's attacks have a chance to apply Enfeeble, reducing the enemy's movement speed by 30% and the damage they deal to you by 12% for 6 seconds. That's kind of cool. And Midnight's been really good. We're running through some of the Unholy DK talents real quick. It's because Unholy DK got a lot of stuff reworked, and I played a little bit of it. I liked it, but I wanted to go back to it now that we have like my actual alpha account. Successfully interrupting an enemy with Mind Freeze grants 10 runic power and reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds. That's kind of cool. You can have Proliferating Chill, which Chains of Ice affects 1 additional nearby enemy. You have Permafrost, where your auto attack damage grants you an absorb shield equal to 30% of the damage dealt. Okay. Have a Veteran of the Third War, which is just a big old stamina increase. Death Pact is another 2-minute cooldown that you can take. It is a talent, though, so there's that. Create a Death Pact that heals you 50% of your maximum health, but absorbs incoming healing equal to 30% of your max health for 15 seconds. Okay. So this is already interesting. I mean, DKs already have IBF, they have AMS, and then they have the ability to pet sack. Or not even pet sack. It's just death pact. It's just heals you, but puts a healing absorb effect, so kind of interesting. That's a pretty big deal. 50% of your max health is kind of a big deal for sure. Interesting. I wonder. I mean, I'd probably take that. Your disease have a chance to weaken your enemy, causing your attacks against them to deal 6% increased damage for 5 seconds. I've noticed a lot of these like kind of things in the talents, even for warrior. There's like a lot of mechanics that give you a kind of a small damage increase for a short period of time. Kind of interesting. Like they want you to like weave in stuff. This is just a disease that just have a chance to make you do more damage. It's like, okay. This increases the range of death grip, and it also will reset the cooldown of death grip. When you kill something that's you know, gives you honor or XP. All right. Icy Talons, your runic power spending abilities increase your melee attack speed by 6% for 10 seconds, second to 3 times. That's kind of cool. So then you also have AMZ, which is another defensive cooldown. Place an anti-magic zone for 8 seconds, reducing the magic damage taken by party raid members by 15%. So this is like your sort of big team utility. 3-minute cooldown, kind of like, you know, same thing as rally, I suppose. Hey, wait, sorry if I'm not sure yet. I'll have to look. It looks like it, maybe. Increase the effectiveness of your rune forge effects by 20%. Okay. I actually do need to go do a rune forge before we even get started. Ice Prison, Chains of Ice now also roots enemies for 4 seconds, but its cooldown is increased to 12 seconds, so interesting. Asphyxiate, just your standard stun. Single target for 5 seconds, 45-second cooldown. Assimilation, the cooldown of AMZ is reduced by 60 seconds, and its duration is increased by 2. Okay. So, again, is this usually 4 minutes? I'm talented for it. Okay, weird. Absorbs are 15% more effective on you. Okay, so you have that with this little guy. It makes it slightly better, I guess. So Death and Decay reduces the movement speed of enemies within its area by 90%. So a huge slow when you first D&D. Okay. Suppression, damage taken from area of effect attacks reduced by 3%. When suffering a loss of control effect, this bonus is increased by an additional 6%. Okay. Interesting. Just got some standard old Leech. I don't think we really need Leech. I'll probably move that talent point somewhere else. Increases Lichborn's duration by 2 seconds and reduces the cooldown by 30. Okay. The Lichborn is another sort of defensive cooldown, yeah? It's more of like a CC break, I think. But AMS, healing. Oh, AMS increases healing received. That's kind of cool. Your auto attacks reduce the target's auto attack speed. So you can have auto attack battles. Great. Your chance to be critically struck is reduced by 3%, and your armor is increased. That's cool. Like a crit reduction on you is neat. And then you have Blood Draw. It's like a little cheat death, mini cheat death. When you fall below 30% health, you drain a little bit of health from nearby enemies. The damage you take is reduced by 10%, and your death strike cost is reduced by 10 for 8 seconds. It only can happen every 2 minutes. So warriors have like this with Last Stand, but ours is 20% health, so a little bit harder to be killed 30-0, but still pretty cool. Probably maybe not as powerful though. I don't know. It seems pretty good. Consuming a rune is a chance to increase your strength by 6% for 8 seconds. Wow. When you pull an enemy, the damage they deal to you is reduced. Okay. And then we have, can I move this somewhere else? I want to move this somewhere else. Oh, well, just put it right on Will and Necropolis. Damage taken below 30% health is reduced by 35. That definitely has good synergy with Blood Draw, doesn't it? That's cool. So then we have the final talents, which also seem to have to do with, like, anti-magic shell. Magic damage taken is reduced by 5%, and the duration of harmful magic effects against you is reduced by 35%. AMS now removes all harmful magical effects when activated, but its cooldown is increased by 20 seconds. Unyielding Will. Death's Echo, Death's Advance, Death and Decay, and Death Grip all have additional charge. And then Vestigial Shell. Let me hit big old green with the flex, man. Hit you with it for pumping us up, man. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it, man. And casting Anti-Magic Shell grants 2 nearby allies a lesser Anti-Magic Shell that absorbs a certain amount of magic damage and reduces the duration of harmful magic effects against them by a little bit. That's cool. That's definitely nice for Arena. Very cool. Alright, so now that's all the normal DK stuff. Then we have Unholy, but really quickly we can look at the... If you guys are not familiar with Riders of the Apocalypse, it summons a bunch of of Death Knights just from spending runes, and they attack stuff for you. So as it says here, spending runes has a chance to call forth the aid of the horseman for 10 seconds. Bowgrain will cast Death and Decay and follow you around with it. Whitemane casts Undeath on your target, dealing like just ticking damage. But each time it ticks, it gains a stack, so it does more damage. Trollbane will cast Chains of Ice, which makes them slower but also takes more damage from you. And Nazgrim just kind of increases your strength, just more damage. So then you have a choice between on a paler horse, which is cool. You can like ride around on your mount and fight on a mount, which is neat. Or you can take Death's Charge, which kind of replaces Death's Advance and gives you a sort of freedom and speed buff, basically. Pretty cool. So when Scourge Strike damages an enemy affected by Undeath, it gains a stack and infects another nearby enemy. So you're getting your stacks up and you're cleaving that dot around. The damage of your diseases and Death Coil are increased by 10%. And then down at the bottom, you have the Army of the Dead and Frostworm's Fury call upon all 4 horsemen to aid you. And Army of the Dead is really like a 1.5 minute cooldown. It's like your big 1.5 minute ultimate. So you're bringing out all the boys whenever you cast your ult, basically. Then we have damage is increased by 5%, and you gain the benefits of your Death and Decay while inside his. So you can kind of cleave it around, I would imagine. At least you used to be able to. If enemy dies while Nazgrim is active, the strength of Apocalyptic Conquest is increased, and each rune you spend increases its value by 1%. Okay, cool. And then you have every 50 runic power you spend extends the duration of the horseman's aid in combat by up to 1 second, or you can take, while you have 2 or more horsemen aiding you, the runic power spending abilities deal more damage. I think I do like that one, actually. So then you have a choice between the horseman will sort of occasionally give you an anti-magic shell, which is neat, or you can take some of the damage that you would take and give it to the horseman instead. Kind of nice. Then you have Trollbane's Icy Fury. Scourge Strike shatters Trollbane's Chains of Ice, dealing AoE damage and slowing them all, which is kind of cool. You have Moss-Sworn Menace. Scourge Strike deals 50% additional or increased damage, and the cooldown of your Death and Decay is reduced. Okay. And then you have these, which I guess we do have these now. We could choose between them. Dark Transformation summons forth Whitemane. Casting Death Coil or Epidemic orders Whitemane to cast her Death Coil or Epidemic alongside you. That's kind of nice. And then the abilities that Horsemen cast deal more damage. Okay, cool. I'm thinking I'm gonna take these for now. Unless you wanted to do this one instead of the defensive tree. We could go down for more offense, maybe. Maybe I will try these out. See those feel cool instead of like defense. Scourge Strike dealing more damage is cool, but what about instead? Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, we're just going through some of the DK stuff. We were just getting started. I haven't even like set up all my keybinds and whatnot. I was just gonna read through the talent, so I figured we would just read through the talents together, and then we'll dig into some gameplay here in a minute. But so Outbreak is our first talent on the Unholy Tree. Inflicts target with the Dread Plague and Virulent Plague. Dread Plague is a new thing, right? A malicious plague that seeps into the soul of its host, dealing damage over time. Can only be applied to one host at a time. Okay. So that's the one that... Virulent Plague can spread, I imagine, right? Infectious Plague that spreads to all nearby enemies, dealing shadow damage. Okay. We have Scourge Strike, an Unholy Strike that deals damage and causes your plagues on the target to erupt, dealing their damage in an additional time at 35% effectiveness. This also will spread Virulent Plague, the target to a nearby enemy. So it'll spread Virulent Plague and Outbreak. Or not Outbreak, Undeath. Interesting. Then we have Sudden Doom. Dread Plague is a chance to accelerate you, making your next Death Coil or Epidemic cost no runic power and deal more damage. So your dot that you can have on one target can kind of give you that. So Clawing Shadows is like mandatory. Shadows guide your strikes, increasing the damage of your Scourge Strike and causing it to grant you Clawing Shadows up to 4 times. For each stack of Clawing Shadows, your Scourge Strike chains to an additional enemy. Each subsequent chain deals 25% reduced damage. It's also ranged. Scourge Strike is just straight up range now, by the way. Do you see that? It was 30-yard range. Yeah. Then you have Putrefy. You decay the oldest lesser ghoul under your command. Over 4 seconds, have them explode to nearby enemies. Lesser ghouls do not expire when decaying, and max 2 charges. So it's not something that you're going to see in the talents, but how it works is you fester, you slash the enemy for damage, and corrupt your weapon with blight, causing your next 3 to 4 scourge strikes to summon a lesser ghoul. And lesser ghouls like attack stuff, but then they can also explode. So instead of wounds, you're just summoning ghouls. And it's not really about whether or not you fester the target to hit that target to benefit. It's just like you fester something, your next scourge strike summon ghouls. It just doesn't really matter, right? So it's kind of interesting. And then doomed bidding, consuming a sudden doom summons forth a lesser ghoul to assist you. So you're gonna be having lots of ghouls out, right? Kind of interesting. Your diseases deal more damage and have 5% increased chance to crit. Okay. Then we have the choice between Grave Mastery. Critical strike damage of your minions is increased, or critical strike damage of your disease is increased. Probably minions. Minions are kind of heavy hitters. This is where I feel like DK is going to be like crit mastery. It's going to be weird. Be crit haste too, I suppose, but mastery is kind of good. I feel like a lot of classes are going to want crit more than they used to, because there's going to be mechanics that are based around crit. That seems kind of cool. So Dark Transformation, you get the juiced up pet, which is pretty cool. Death Coil and Epidemic extend that effect. But yeah, you juice up your ghoul and turn him into a monstrosity. But I think later on you get to empower more than just your ghoul. Keep that in mind. So Morbidity, diseased enemies take 2% increased damage from you per disease they are affected by. Super Strain, when Dread Plague deals damage, it has a chance to grant you runic power, which is cool. Rapid Variant. When an enemy afflicted by your Dread Plague dies, it erupts, dealing damage to nearby enemies, and inflicts the enemy with the lowest health remaining with your plagues. Okay, interesting. So we have Reaping. Scourge Strike, Fester, and Death Coil deal more damage to enemies below 35% health. I like that. I like that. That's really cool, Driganar. Thank you so much, man. And Big Flex for you pumping us up with the Prime, man. Thank you, dude. That's pretty cool. I might, when we actually talent, I might want to try to find a way to go through that. So lesser ghouls last longer, or they just do more damage. Oh, we definitely want the more damage, I think, right? So Dark Transformation and Army of the Dead also summon Magus of the Dead, who hurls frost bolts and shadow bolts at your target. Yup. Infected Claws. The infected claws of your ghouls have a chance to sicken the foe, dealing damage over time. Okay. If this is reapplied, its remaining damage is added to the new effect. Okay, wow, interesting. Ebon Fever. Diseases deal more damage over time in less duration. Interesting, I like that. Death Coil deals more damage and causes the target to take more damage. That's pretty crazy. Oh, sorry, no, that it's like a dot on top of it. Okay, to take an additional 30% of the direct damage dealt. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's just more damage on Death Coil. Sudden Doom triggers more frequently and can stack up to 2, which is great because I always forget to press Death Coil when I play DK. So great. So Putrefy damage is increased, and it now deals damage split between enemies it hits. In addition, enemies struck increase the damage of Putrefy. Okay, so in bigger AoE, it'll do more damage. Interesting. Your Magus of the Dead Shadow Bolt now fires a volley of Shadow Bolts. Okay. Dark Transformation increases the attack speed and damage of you and your monstrosity. That's cool. Light Burst. The eruption effect of Putrefy consumes 6 seconds from your plagues on all enemies hit, dealing 100% of the damage they would have dealt over time instantly. Wow. Okay. That's cool. Runic Corruption now increases your rune generation rate by 125%. Okay. Putrefy now decays the lesser ghouls over 4 seconds and causes it to go on an Unholy Frenzy, increasing their attack speed and damage by 150% until they explode. That's cool. Okay. I feel like some of these talents up here are being affected by the talents I have down here, so it might not always be 4 seconds, right? This Putrefy says 4 seconds there. But okay, anyway. All will serve. Raised Dead summons an additional Skeletal Archer at your command that shoots blighted arrows, an unholy arrow that deals damage. And when consuming Sudden Doom, your Death Coil commands your archer to fire an additional blighted arrow at less effectiveness. Epidemic will instead cause blighted arrow to ricochet and hit the 5 different targets. So it's kind of like a cleave if you use Epidemic with it. Okay. We have Blightfall. Everything, all diseases just deal more damage. Great. Scourge Strike. Critical strikes cause your diseases to inflict their damage at 150% effectiveness instead. Okay. You can summon a legion of 4 lesser ghouls to swarm your enemies, right? But what really happens is Dark Transformation empowers your Gargoyle, A-Bomb, Magus, and lesser ghouls. Crazy. And then you have this fella. Army of the Dead now summons 4 lesser ghouls, but additionally raises an Abomination, which is pretty cool. And enemies within the disease cloud take 20% increased damage from your minions. Or you can summon a Gargoyle. Grant you 50 runic power. The Gargoyle gains 1% increased damage for every 1 runic power you spend. I usually just use Big Boy, but yeah, that's cool. You can do that, or Gargoyle. Neat. And this does empower your A-bomb and everything else too. So I guess... So it's like if we wanted to have the Magus, we would not summon A-bomb. Should we try Gargoyle and see what that feels like? A-bomb usually kind of pumps. I'll try Gargoyle just for fun. So then you can do Scourging. Scourge Strike now instead causes your plagues to erupt for the damage they would inflict over 3 seconds at 35% effectiveness. Or Festering Scythe. Festering Strike now follows up with the Festering Scythe. Slashes through all enemies within 14 yards of you, dealing damage and hastening all your plagues on the target to hit for 35% faster. That's cool. Then you have Apex Talents for DK already, which is Forbidden Knowledge. Army of the Dead siphons power of the Fallen, transforming Death Coil and Epidemic into Necrotic Coil and Graveyard. Necrotic Coil, unleash a vortex of necrotic energy and bone, dealing physical damage up to 3 foes and shadow damage to all pierced enemies. Or Graveyard, the dead erupt beneath all foes with a virulent plague, dealing damage. So this is, yeah, so this one's physical damage though. Interesting. So Army of the Dead grants 20 runic power and causes your next 1 Scourge Strike to summon a Lesser Ghoul. Okay. And when you putrefy a Lesser Ghoul or summon one with Scourge Strike, the duration of Forbidden Knowledge is increased. So we could just, like, put 1 point there to see what happens. I don't know. We could try it out. Interesting. Very interesting, Cole Wayne. Thank you so much, man, for keeping it going, dude. Big flex for you, pumping us up. Thank you, man. Very interesting. I don't think they've got anything new for PvP talents, do they? These all look new. Life and Death. When the target afflicted with your Dread Plague is healed, you get healed too. And it deals a whole bunch more damage when it gets dispelled, so that's kind of cool. Elevated Butch, thanks for the power up, dude. You guys got me getting warmed up today, dude. Pumping us up. Thank you, man. We have Dark Sim, where you can, like, copy a spell that got cast. Necrotic Wounds. Putrefy has additional 1 charge. Oh, and applies a necrotic wound to the enemy when it deals damage, absorbing 8% of all healing received. Right, so they still want to use wounds, it's just putrefy is kind of like how it works now. It's kind of cool. If you're running around in PvP in war mode, so we can try these things out. Is that weird? I feel like that might brick our like understanding of the class if we like run around with these things. Festering Strike no longer causes, well, hold on. So reanimate a nearby corpse, summoning a zombie. If your zombie reaches the target, it explodes and stuns enemies, which is hilarious. Festering Strike no longer causes Scourge Strike to consume a lesser ghoul, but instead causes it to deal more damage and heal you. Weird. Okay. Strangulate. So this changes like the class a lot. Weird. This makes Scourge Strike do more damage, and like that's a crazy change to the whole class, isn't it? More damage and heals you? Weird. Okay, so Strangulate is your silence. Doom Burst. Sudden Doom also calls your next Death Coil to deal the damage of your plagues an additional time at 25% effectiveness and reduce the target's movement speed. So it's just a little more damage and slow on sudden death coils. Death and Decay roots enemies each time it deals damage. Huh? Absorbing healing equal to 100% of damage. Oh, wow, okay. Death Strike reduces all physical damage taken, which is nice. Spell Warden. Anti-Magic Shell is now usable on allies, and its cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. So, how does that work with, like this? Huh. I guess you could, I mean, probably could go do both. That is weird. That changes everything. Very interesting. I'm tempted to try it, but I feel like that's going to make things really weird. If we wanted to do war mode. But okay. I'm going to actually click through and look and put a spec together, and then we'll continue our experimentations. But the talents definitely look pretty cool just on the first look. The fact that Unholy DKs are like big time like summoners now, instead of using the wound mechanic as much, I think I like that. That's pretty cool. To see how it plays out. I mean, obviously everything is like super subject to change, but I'm pretty sure there's some cool builds that you can put together. Definitely a cool idea. This thing is crazy. That just changes the way the whole class works, but it could be fun. Either way. Let's put a build together and get set up and start tearing it up, I suppose. That's pretty cool. Guys, thanks for the subbies, too. So far, everything looks pretty cool, Red Y. So far. But yeah. Scourge trait doesn't cleave. Is that what you're saying? It's kind of useless. Kind of wild. Yeah. I don't hate the build that this has put together for us. I don't hate it. There are some other things I'd like to have, but I think it's okay. Do we want like infected claws more than we want like low health stuff, or rune generation perhaps? Seems mostly okay to me. It should still cleave? Okay. It really just says it spreads virulent plague at the moment. Maybe, yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. Let's set up some keybinds though, real quick. I already forgot what I was doing with my binds on the other guy. On my other Death Knight when we were playing earlier. Let's put some things together though, real quick. Just for funsies. Let's go enchant my weapon too. Before I forget. Is it beta? It's alpha, so even before that. Yeah, we've been playing Arms and Fury. I think Arms is like a pretty good model for what they're trying to do with this expansion. I thought Arms was pretty dang fun. Felt solid. It's not like a big departure from the way it is now, but it feels pretty good. Definitely. This. All right. I think we want we're going to re-enchant our new weapon too, aren't we? Yeah. Whenever we get here. We'll chuck Fallen Crusader on there real quick though. What do you want to see as Apex talents for Arms? I feel like Slayer will get some kind of like, you know, some kind of Bladestorm execute thing, and then Colossus will probably get some kind of like Demolish, but maybe even like Mortal Strike or Cleave kind of thing. Yeah. I think Colossus Arms is really cool. Like in general, I think it's really cool, and I think it ends up being really cool now too. I think you'll dig it. Let's see. A Wraith Walk and that. Yup. 2 Death Grips, I agree, would be kind of nice. The DK feels kind of it feels like it has more defensive than some classes at the moment, but they're kind of long cooldowns. So I guess that kind of makes sense, right? Winter's coming. Oh, geez, I know. California winter's not too bad, though. Hoping that you like to see smash resets from tacticians that overpower. Yeah. C-Smash at the moment is a pretty powerful cooldown. So. That would probably be a little much. I don't use my pet bar that much. Yeah, C-Smash right now is strong. It's given us a 36% damage increase, so. The deep wound stacking bleed, hard to tell. Where's Death's Advance? I think I just turned it into something else. I think I chose Wraith Walk instead. Where's that option? Right, so you can either have Death's Advance or that, right? Or no? Oh yeah, right. So I think does the Charger take the place of Death's Advance? Yeah. I have Death Charge. So this is Death's Advance basically, right? Then you can do the other one after. There we go. Okay. I feel like we have most of our abilities bound, right? What else? What else? Looks about right. Death Strike. Okay. Gonna log out real quick to save everything. Midnight on Paper is giving Legion vibes. You know, I think somebody else was saying the same thing. It feels good. Feels good. We're definitely onto something here, I think. They're onto something, you know? Definitely not hating it. Alright.
I am the blade of the light.
Let's roll. The midnight.
Remain vigilant.
Left side build is bad, yeah. I think I'm just like playing whatever the game just like put on there. Am I a left side build? Or no? And are you basing this off the alpha? Alright. And how does Unholy feel? Well, I'm not really like an experienced Death Knight player. But let me show you. Let me show you what's going on. Our characters at this point are kind of weak. Like if you first make a character and then you just immediately like begin this like kind of quest line, we have 80 eye level, and then every quest reward gives us 120 eye level in the alpha. So starting off, we feel a little weak sauce, but like how does it feel like DK like gameplay? Kind of cool. If you like the sort of necromancer style of Unholy DK, like summoning an army, then this might be up your alley. I'll show you. You can definitely summon the boys. Upon doing so, you do some damage, you know? Wrangle it, everybody. I played a little bit of DK earlier. But I wanted to play more, and I wanted to have a DK that was like available on this guy. So see, my one lesser ghoul is putrefying currently. So you're still doing like the dot stuff. You're still like festering to get your Scourge Strike to do something special, basically. But now the special element of it is just on Scourge Strike. It's not like tied to the enemy, like right? It just sort of buffs your Scourge Strike. See, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little 6 on my Scourge Strike here, and on this thing it's a little it's a festering strike icon. But you're dotting, you're festering, and you're empowering and scourging. And then a big thing that I'm not probably doing enough of is putrefying. If I putrefy my ghouls, they'll kind of pop off for a second, and then they'll explode. But when they die, they're gonna summon Maguses. So it's like you explode your ghoul, but basically what happens is you empower it, and then it like ranks up. And you have a Magus popping off for a little while. So you kind of have that like ramp. It's like you're leveling up your army. You know, like while you're fighting. You bring in all the boys, you putrefy them, they level up into Maguses and pop off for a while. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Try playing with UI stuff for tracking stuff. Yeah, I could. I haven't set it up yet, but like, look at my army. I haven't set up any of that stuff yet, and it would probably overlap directly with my UI currently. So set that up, but now having played just a little bit of DK, and of course reading through the talents just now, I feel like I have like a slightly better idea. It is a pretty cool concept. It's going to be kind of annoying to fight a DK when they have like 1,000 pets all over the place, but I mean, I already kind of like that. But as a DK, like, it's a kind of a cool idea, right? You're summoning and like ranking up your pets in combat. So yeah, I do think it's cool. Let's see how we feel against this big guy. I don't have like my biggest coolies right now, but I'm pretty sure his little guys will probably kill me. Alright, we're gonna have to rev up our putrefy here. The dots roll on these dudes. The death strike's going. I'm probably dead. We'll see. If I could have brought out my big guy in time, it would have been a little better off. But let's see how it goes. Let's see if we can bring out all the boys and get all the crazy action going here before I die. Oh, we have this. Let's press some defensives, boys. Let's try to live. Right, now we must flee. Get him, boys. Putrefy him. Alright. Okay, barely hung on for dear life there. But we did. Pretty cool. Yeah. Crashing Thunder? What's that? Oh yeah, I feel like Mountain Thane will almost certainly be about, like Thunderclap stuff, yeah? Almost certainly. But Putrefy does cost runes. So it feels like it's, yeah, kind of like Fester, Plague, Putrefy. And Putrefy again. Or 2 Plague Strikes and 2 Putrefies, I don't know. My ghouls currently, like, they go nuts before they die, but then they bring up, and then when they die, they do become a Magus, basically. Anything happen to Frost? I'll have to play it. I don't think that Frost got, like, a big rework the way Unholy did. Unholy definitely is, like, a pretty big difference. It's cool, though. It's cool. I really feel like I need to do like this, like change my keybinds. I remember to putrefy fools. It's almost like a mini game, you know? Wanting to make sure you're buffing up all your ghoulies. Pretty cool, though. I've enjoyed Unholy DK before. This is definitely different than what I've played before, but it's still cool. I'm not like a big summoner guy, but it's kind of a fun... It's it's like I'm playing like an RTS, you know? You're managing an army as your normal, like, combat. Which is kind of cool. Then you can just play Frost DK and not worry about any of that stuff. It's pretty fun though. But yeah, that was cool. Definitely a little bit of whack-a-mole. I'm gonna find it this way though. A little bit. I think you want to putrefy whenever you can, I think. That's kind of one of those things that keeps your army like maximum juice. Feels like it. And but we'll try Frost a little bit later though. We'll see. We'll put it on the list. But as we progress this guy, I think that we'll start just absolutely running over everything. I definitely still don't press Death Coil anywhere near enough. It's just helped me. If you don't have any numbers by your buttons, then you gotta press Fester. I do think that DK just pulls the universe though. I felt like this was the case last time I played DK. I don't know if my pets are like on aggro mode or whatever, but I definitely feel like I just pull the entire universe constantly. Alright, let's try that out. There we go. Kinda cool though, huh? Bringing out the boys. And I think that you have different like spec choices for sure. But from what I've seen so far, it's like we're bringing out the Magus and letting that kind of be one of the main things we're doing. And at some point, we'll get some more talents to play around with, and we can start trying some of the Apex talents and see what the new like Apocalypse Bolt looks like, or Graveyard. Isn't that crazy though that Scourge Strike just baseline range now? Seems nuts to me. Gotta get some more of them Festers out. More of that going too. There we go. What's up, Lothraxian? So Dot, Fester, Scourge, Putrefy, and Death Coils. Lots and lots of Death Coils. Never enough Death Coils for me. Occasionally just unleash the whole freaking army on this guy. Look at this. I mean, look at how many dudes I've got on my screen. Like, this is this is ridiculous. Look at all the lesser ghouls I had there too. I should have turned some of those guys into Maguses. This is nuts. And you got your gargoyle and everything too. So if you play big boy, I think it doesn't summon the ghouls, but with gargoyle it does. That's cool. Down to try Frost as well, but we'll definitely try to get a feel for Unholy a bit. Next thing I want to play after maybe a little bit of Frost DK is probably end up playing a whole bunch of DK like during the daytime today, and then play some Rep Paladin tonight. I think would be cool. Get Bajhathor out, see what he's up to. Not bad though. DK is definitely feeling cool. Definitely a bit of a unique playstyle. I mean, I don't know, does Demonology Warlock feel kind of like this? Where you're summoning an army? That's the only thing I can really think of. Maybe, like, I don't think, like, BM Hunter definitely summons a lot of pets, but I don't think it's, I don't know if it's the same style. Maybe. Anyway, if you like having a bunch of minions, this is definitely, definitely a good one. But the way that you're kind of like building your army and upgrading it is kind of cool. I think I like it better than the wounds. I think. Although I did like bust in a whole bunch of wounds with like Apocalypse. That was cool. Peace, it is definitely one of those like ranged like melee combo thingies, definitely. Definitely. Like Ret is like that now too. I don't know. Definitely the sort of ranged melee hybrid army is growing for sure. Alright. Let's battle through. Out of the way. Void demons. Are you able to putrefy with no ghouls out? I probably would let you. It's not good if I do it though. I have no idea what I'm doing rotationally, but I mean, it seems to be working. You do need to be melee for Fester, but you don't need to be melee for Scourge Strike. Of course, you let all your pets do the work, too. Just running over everybody. Empowering the whole universe. Your empowerment does buff... Does it buff your Maguses as well? Sure does, yeah. 30 seconds? Wait, what? Dark Transformation, which is a 45-second cooldown. You can just have your guys just buffed all the time. I mean, a Death Coil extends the duration of it, too. That's crazy, actually. Isn't it? The 30-second, like, baseline buff. It's wild. Well, we'll take that, though, right? Team Feral? Is it looking pretty good? I mean, we could try it, man. We have Legion Remix coming up, which I'm excited about, but kind of one of the main things I'm interested in doing right now is just trying out different stuff in the alpha. Trying some different classes out. Feral is definitely a class that I don't have a lot of like familiarity with, but I mean, I'd be down to mess around with it. It seems like what we're doing right now at this stage in the alpha is pretty much just kind of like running the characters through the starting zone and then going from there, right? We'll see. Max HP on this guy right now is probably like 60k, yeah, 57k, but even just at level 83, it's kind of like 120k, I think, on my warrior. Just like green gear, so stat squish definitely was needed, but you're not gonna, you know, your HP is gonna go up as time goes on. They definitely still allow your character to grow, you know. So if I pop off and spend a lot of death coils, then my guys are gonna be empowered for a long time, aren't they? Seems kind of like it. No dots on this dude. We're battling our way right on through. I feel like on my warrior I felt like pretty strong with not very much gear. I think it just comes down to class familiarity, I think. 'Cause the second time through playing this guy, I feel like a little bit more powerful. The DK definitely feels pretty good once you get everything rolling. But I don't, so we were talking about before, I don't think Death and Decay. Maybe it cleaves still, I don't know. Maybe, it doesn't really say anywhere that it does though, which is kind of weird. Leave him down, boys. I'm down to do some dungeons on this guy at some point, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, they just keep respawning in that spot, we need to not get stuck there. Let's go talk to these guys and get the heck out.
The rebuilding continues.
I need to bring my whole army with me.
Welcomes you, champion. Walk in the light.
Our first upgrade, I'm definitely gonna go Crit Mastery.
Dionysus Arca. The light of the sunwell.
I mean, Haste Mastery makes so much sense, but I'm interested in seeing what happens if we do Crit Mastery on a lot of different classes. Let's roll. Yeah, that's the basics of Unholy DK so far, man. Seems pretty cool. We can try Frost too, though, if you guys want to. But Unholy seems very neat, especially after its rework. Very cool. New request, the devs to enrich the basic rotation in class to keep the choice for new players simple rotation. How would you envision that being done, perhaps? I feel like maybe they've succeeded in doing that. Have you seen how like there's a I feel like the rotation may have been enriched by the fact that certain abilities will buff other certain abilities, or crits from certain abilities will buff other certain abilities by a small amount for a short period of time, but there is sort of rotational synergy going on. Quick fix, you're not the only one who feels like that. Wanting to be level 200 with 50 trillion HP. There are some people who are saying that they liked that idea last night as well. I don't agree, but you're not alone. But yeah, you're not the only one who would like to see numbers just sort of continue to astronomically scale. But I don't agree with that perspective, but I can respect it. I can respect it. I think it makes sense to sort of keep things within like a general range over the course of time. I mean, D4's damage numbers go up a lot, but they don't, like your HP doesn't really go up that high, you know? But again, I can respect that though. There we go. Fester him up. Putrefy him down. I'd never, ever, ever spend enough runic power. Always a rune ability enjoyer. Never spend enough runic power. Try it though. Gotta keep it pumping. Yeah, Lance, I know that you highlighted that one. I may do this run through separately though. Still good to have it though. Just recorded like I just did it locally, but still appreciate you doing that. We'll do it with Paladin too. But what you can do is you could request the devs to do that. Like you know, if you have like a specific idea, you could or like a little feedback forum post or something perhaps. But again, just from my first experiences with the alpha, they may already be doing kind of what you have in mind. Not sure. They may be doing some of those things already. You might really like what you see. Try this again. Dude, Unholy DK cooldowns definitely just mow everything down. Look at how many guys I've got here. I feel like I should probably have waited for everything to fight this thing, but let's see how it goes. Like I just popped cooldowns on nothing, and now I don't have dudes for this thing, but we'll see how it goes. Should be fine, right? Should be fine. Good defensive cooldowns. We don't really have offensive. I'm fighting him and all the little goobers too. Oh jeez. How can I blind out of all this? Oh, everything. Okay. We can empower. That strike is pretty good though. I think things are dying, sort of. Getting a little risky. Oh no, we're chilling. Might want to put a dot on this guy though. Just running around with full runic power all the time. There we go. Classic. Would you like Blizz to do anything different to Warrior to make them look as interesting as only DK? I mean, Arms Warrior is like a pretty straight up solid build right now. But yeah, as time goes on, I think I will probably continue to sort of get an idea of like, oh, this would be cool. I think right now I'm just kind of like, let's see what they're cooking with, you know. If anything stands out to me, I think we can like sort of include that as like a feedback video or something like that. But right now, I mean, I'm kind of just like, all right, let's see what you guys have been working on. But Arms Warrior right now just kind of feels solid. I really like Fury a lot on retail right now, but I think I like Arms. I think Arms fits really well with what they're trying to do right now. Feels good. Feels good.
Yes.
I mean, the class simpler? Yeah, I think they have, yeah. I think the rotations are fairly simple right now. I think that you're not using a ton of abilities in your rotation at the moment. But every ability, like, does something. Like, it has a place. It's not, there's not just like a sort of, this just does damage. Like, all the abilities kind of synergize currently. So I think what you're thinking of, what you'd like to see is maybe even happening currently. Which is, I think, a cool thing, right? At first glance, it looks like Slayer probably is better for PvP still, but we'll see. It still seems like Slayer is like very nice. Like single target. And Colossus definitely can work single target, sort of. But it really shines in AoE situations where you can get good use out of cleave. And you really don't want to play cleave in PvP. It feels like Colossus kind of needs cleave to succeed maximally, you know? Whereas Slayer is definitely like a pretty gnarly single target build, right? And the fact that you're gonna get cooldown reduction on Bladestorm is also pretty cool, so. What's the corporal rank? I'm not sure what that was. I'll have to have a look at it. Let me return. I think you're usually supposed to just be teleported back. Could fly back. I'll have a look at it. Oh. Well, I don't have it anymore, do I? It was probably some kind of buff that I had for the quest.
Eternal sun still guides us.
Where it was like, hey, go rally the troops, you know?
The light guide.
I had the troop rallier buff. Alright, be back real quick. We'll keep on pumping. Yeah. Yeah. Force evasion still moot? Yeah. At least Alpha does, but I think that's, you know, makes sense to me. Alright, let's go kill these guys. It's so funny, like you just start off like this is your guy. This is your Unholy DK with one ghoul, and then like what it turns into, you know? Summoning just the whole freaking demonic army, or unholy army. Come on down, buddy. Get you a piece. Make sure we fester next. Come get you a piece. Let's putrefy some of these dudes. There's a lot of little fellas coming out here. They did kind of pull a lot, though. Need to keep summoning and putrefying dudes. I think one of the reasons I never press Death Glow is I'm always pressing Death Strike instead. Kind of makes sense, I guess. There we go. Just mow everything down. I don't think it cleaves in Death and Decay. But you know, Bowgrain follows you around and does AoE. I mean, it's something, I guess. Not huge. Doesn't only lose many buttons, a lot of empty spots there. The empty spots are mostly just because I don't have like a bunch of arena focus and utility stuff set up, I think, is the main thing. That's just, my action bars have a lot of like extra spots and redundancy. Some of it's just visual. I don't really feel like DK's lost a lot.
It's so good to see you again.
Some of what they do has changed, but I don't think it's like really lost a bunch. I think Unholy feels pretty cool. I think I'll shot at midnight. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think that everything looks pretty good so far. Things that I've played so far are kind of neat. We're gonna do a little bit more Unholy. We could do some Frost too, though. Like, I'm not quite done with Unholy, you know? Yeah, let's go, bro.
We will persevere.
Let's go. I mean, it might be a good idea to do Frost right now for like the second half of this thing. Could we? Instead of just doing Frost for questing, we can do Frost where we actually have a lot of stuff to fight. Might be good. If you ignore playing his arms, are you just gonna have no defensive? Oh snap, CD, since no, I suppose, yeah. You'll go D-stance, ignore pain, and that'll be that, you know. Are you guys interested in some Frost? Could try some Frost. Retribution Prey, yeah. It is kind of weird, yeah. It is kind of weird. I feel like Reaper's Mark is like too much of a cooldown. Isn't it? This is nice because it's just all passive. Maybe we'll actually try Deathbringer. Give it a go, right? Warrior feels good. I like it. Like a more compact War Within version, right? What's going on here? Huh. Yeah, we'll have to read through some of this stuff, I think. Icy Talent. I feel like I'd almost rather have a shorter cooldown, truly. Or we can do this one, right? Do we want Howling Blasts? Do we want defense? No, we want damage. We want damage. Don't we? What's up, dudes? Okay, is anything really different about the DK side of the tree? Like, no. Maybe Rune Mastery wasn't a thing. They're just trying to do ice prison for flavor, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. That's super annoying, though, isn't it? Just do that. Who cares about AMS stuff? Who cares? The bottom left 3 talents of Frost that aren't connected. These right here. These are your Apex talents. So Frost Firm's Fury deals 100% increased damage to the first enemy it hits and grants you a bunch of haste. That's crazy. Casting Frost Firm's Fury grants a bunch of runic power. Recalling it grants a killing machine stack. And then the ability to recall it starts here. This deals double damage, and then it comes back. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think I'm seeing much different right here. The Frost DK stuff is not that different. Right? So if we were gonna look at the Frost DK talents, it wouldn't be bad to just refer somebody to the Unholy DK video to look at all the Death Knight talents, right? Because they don't really change. That'd be rude or no? They're not really different between the 2 DK specs, I don't think. So you can look at the Unholy one first. But I'm gonna play Deathbringer, I think, because I don't usually play this one. And Riders of the Apocalypse, we showed that off in the Unholy DK video, so we can also tell you guys just to go look at that. Then we can look at Deathbringer. So you viciously slice into the soul of your enemy, dealing Shadow Frost damage and applying Reaper's Mark. Each time you deal Shadow or Frost damage, add a stack of Reaper's Mark. 12 seconds, reaching 40 stacks, the mark explodes. Okay. Also, we didn't look at Sand Lane for Unholy. So. Whatever, though. Okay, so we have Wave of Souls. Reaper Mark sends forth bursts of Shadow Frost energy and back, dealing damage both ways to everything in its path. And then Wave of Souls, critical strikes cause enemies to take 3% increased Shadow Frost damage for 15 seconds, stack up to 2 times, but it always crits on the way back. Okay, so it seems like it can only really crit 2 times max, but still kind of cool. When it explodes, Reaper's Mark deals 20% of the damage dealt to nearby enemies, and causing them to deal 5% reduced physical damage to you for 10 seconds, okay. If no enemies are struck by Soul Rupture, you gain 5% strength for 8 seconds. Wave of Souls is 50% more effective on the main target of your Reaper's Mark, okay. Wither Away, Frost Fever deals its damage 100% faster, and the second Scythe of Exterminate applies Frost Fever. Okay. Reaper, did I say Frost Reaper? Frost Fever? Reaper's Mark, initial strike grants Killing Machine, okay. Reaper's Mark Explosion deals with a 30% increased damage based on your target's missing health, okay. Then you have Dark Talons. Consuming Killing Machine or Rhyme has a 25% chance to grant 3 stacks of Icy Talons and increase its maximum stacks by the same amount for 6 seconds. So, big auto attacks. Runic Power spending abilities count as Shadow Frost while Ice Talons is active. Or you can do reduces the cooldown of Reaper's Mark by 15 seconds, but the amount of Obliterates and Frost Sights empowered by Exterminate is reduced by 1. Exterminate being this. After Reaper's Mark explodes, your next 1 Obliterate or Frost Scythes cost 1 rune and summon 2 Scythes to strike your enemies. The first Scythe strikes your target for Shadow Frost damage and has a 100% chance to grant Killing Machine. The second one strikes all enemies around your target and applies Frost Fever. Deals reduced damage to 8 targets. Okay, so then here's this stuff where it's like Rhyme Empowered Howling Blast deal more damage and damages Shadow Frost. Shadow Frost damage applies 2 stacks to Reaper's Mark and 4 stacks when it is a critical strike, okay. And then you have some defensive stuff, I think, right? When you suffer a damaging effect equal to 25% of your max health, you instantly cast Death Pact. Okay. And when Reaper's Mark explodes, the cooldown of this effect and Death Pact is reduced. Oh, okay, yeah. Or each rune reduces the magic damage you take by 1.5%, and each rune generated reduces the physical damage you take by 1.55 seconds up to 5 times, okay. Then you have the reduces the cooldown of Lichborn and Raised Dead, or When an enemy deals direct damage to your anti-magic shell, their cast speed is reduced. Okay, but we did the new stuff instead. Upon exploding, Reaper's Mark increases your critical strike chance by 10% for 8 seconds. Frost strike damage is increased, and Glacial Advance damage is increased. And you have Reaper's Mark deals increased damage, and casting Frostworm's Fury grants 2 stacks of Exterminate with 100% first sight, 100% second sight effectiveness. Okay. Okay, then we actually have just good old Frost stuff. Okay? I think Frost's gonna pop off, yeah, we'll see. So Frost Strike is just your good old runic power spending attack. Obliterate costs 2 runes, does big Fizz and Frost damage. Howling Blast is kind of like your AoE range deal. It deals some damage and puts your dot on people. You have Killing Machine, which is like a big, you know, auto attack. Critical strikes have a chance to make your next Obliterate deal Frost damage and critically strike, or make your next Frost Scythe critically strike for 4 times the normal damage, which is crazy. So it's your big Obliterate crit guarantee, but that comes off of auto attack crits. So again, I feel like people are going to be wanting to stack crit more this expansion on, because it's going to like mechanically affect their class, not just like, hey, a crit is cool, does damage. It's like, no, it actually affects the way that your guy works, which is interesting. So Empower Rune Weapons, the 30-second recharge, you deal damage to the target, and you grant yourself runic power, and gives you Killing Machine charges. Okay. Just Killing Machine charge. Frost Scythe, a sweeping attack that strikes all enemies in front of you. Consumes Killing Machine to have its critical strikes deal 4 times the normal damage, which is nuts. You guys like Frost Scythe? Kind of like a, it's like Cleave for Arms Warrior. I don't love that, but maybe I'll try it out. Arctic Assault, consuming Killing Machine fires a Glacial Advance. Clear your target. Runic Overflow increases the Frost Strike and Glacial Advance damage. Okay, this build has 1 point in it. Okay. Frostbound Will, consuming Rhyme reduces the cooldown of Empower Rune Weapon. All right. Increases the maximum rune power and runic generation. Okay. And Biting Cold, Remorseless Winter damage is increased by 35% the first time. Remorseless Winter deals damage to 3 different enemies who gain Rhyme. Okay. You have Inexorable Assault, which Obliterate and Frost Scythe consume up to 3 stacks, dealing an additional 178 Frost damage for each stack. So you just gain it over time. It's like up to 5 times. Okay. Until you Obliterate or Frost Scythe, that is. Then Frost Reaper. Obliterate deals 10% increased damage, has a chance to tether the souls of its target to a nearby enemy to yours, and a nearby enemy to yours. Frost Scythe severs the tethers, dealing Shadow Frost damage. Okay, they just love Frost Scythe. Pillar of Frost. The power of Frost increases your strength by 30% for 12 seconds. So this is like your, you know, your big ol' 45-second CD. So it's like Arms has like Sweeping Strikes. These guys have Empower Rune Weapon, and then we have Warbreaker, but it's Pillar of Frost. Then you have your Blade Storm or Frostworm's Fury. So a lot of classes have this like 1.5 minute big cooldown, 45-second like pretty big cooldown, and then like something else sometimes. And I think that's like, I've only really played 2 classes, I guess, but those 2 classes sort of follow that model. So kind of interesting how they're cooking up class design and cooldowns and stuff in Midnight. So Icy Onslaught, Frost Strike and Glacial Advance now cause your next Frost Strike and Glacial Advance to deal more damage and cost more runic power. Okay. This affects stacks until the next runic power. So Frost Strike and Glacial Advance now cause your next Frost Strike and Glacial Advance. So Frost Striking makes your Glacial Advance deal more damage, and Glacial Advance makes your next Frost Strike. So, okay. Gotcha. That's kind of how you stack up the damage, I think, right? Interesting, because it does say next, right? Yeah. Anyway, Gathering Storm. Each rune spent during Remorseless Winter increases its damage and extends its duration. That's a fun one. Murderous Efficiency. Consuming Killing Machine has a 20% chance to gain you a rune. All right. Rage of the Frozen Champion. Frost Strike and Glacial Advance have a 15% increased chance to trigger Rhyme and Howling Blast to generate 8 runic power while Rhyme is active. Okay. Sort of rotational synergy there. When Pillar of Frost expires, your strength is increased by 8% for 6 seconds. This effect lasts 2 seconds longer, up to 20 seconds for each Obliterate and Frost Scythe. Critical strike during Pillar of Frost. Okay. Enduring Strength looks cool. So this replaces Remorseless Winter. Pillar of Frost now summons a Remorseless Winter that lasts 4 seconds longer. Each enemy Remorseless Winter damages grants you mastery up to 40% 50 seconds, right? That's just the big AoE around you. I don't think it makes you move slower now, though. So, Runic Empowerment has a 25% chance to refund 1 additional rune, right? Howling Blades, Rime-empowered Howling Blasts. Unleash 2 icy blades at its target that deal frost damage, have 50% chance to grant Killing Machine, okay. When Howling Blast consumes Rime, 15% of the damage it deals is gathered into the next cast of Remorseless Winter. Okay. I'm not really seeing a lot of like brand new mechanics, but there's definitely like a lot of synergy, right? I think that's the idea. So Frostworm has a big old dragon that does a bunch of Shadow Frost damage, or just Frost damage, not Shadow Frost. Stunning enemies for 3 seconds and slowing movement speed, okay. And then you can like send it out and call it back if you use these talents. Everfrost, Rime-empowered Howling Blast deal more damage to secondary targets. Remorseless Winter deals increased damage to enemies' hits, and it stacks up, okay. North Winds, Howling Blast now hits additional target with maximum effectiveness. Rime increases Howling Blast damage done by additional 20%. I feel like we've this build that you just log over and it's just this is a lot of Howling Blast stuff. Probably want some AoE. Bone Grinder. Consuming Killing Machine grants 1% critical strike chance for 10 seconds. Stacking up to 5 times. At 5 stacks, your next Killing Machine consumes the stacks and grants you 20% increased frost damage for 10 seconds. Okay. Smothering Offense. Your auto attack damage is increased. This amount is increased for each stack of Icy Talons you have. Okay, so that would go well with the Icy Talons buff thingy, right? Where was that one at? This guy? Yeah. Go with that. Avalanche, casting Howling Blast with Rime active causes jagged icicles to fall on enemies, dealing damage, okay. An Icebreaker, when empowered by Rime, Howling Blast deals 30% increased damage to your primary target, or 60% if you put 2 points into it. Now, we apparently can get like 3 of these. That's kind of crazy. Obliteration. During Pillar of Frost, Frost Strike and Glacial Advance and Howling Blast always grant Killing Machine and have a 20% chance to generate a rune. Additionally, during Pillar of Frost, empowered rune weapon causes your next Obliterate or Frost Scythe to cost no runes. Okay, just put that in a macro. Killing Streak, Obliterate, and Frost Scythe consume all killing machines to deal 25% increased critical strike damage and grant 1.5 haste for 8 seconds for each stat consumed. Multiple applications may overlap. Wow. Okay. Your auto attack critical strikes have a chance to send out a torrent of ice, dealing frost damage, and while Pillar of Frost is active, your auto attack critical strikes increase its duration by 2 seconds. Okay, interesting. Yeah, again, they like crits, man, and it's not like guaranteed crits. These are like auto attack crits. You just need crit strike chance for that. Interesting. Look at this one already. Yeah. So Shattering Blade, when Frost Strike damages the enemy with 5 stacks of Razor Ice, it will consume them. So we're not using Razor Ice. I guess this applies Razor Ice, but you can also get that from an enchant or not anymore. Anyway, it will consume them to deal damage. Frostbane consumes the Razor Ice on your main target, deal 300%. Okay. Then Frostbane. Each foe struck with Glacial Advance has a chance to transform your next Frost Strike into Frostbane. The chance increases with the number of Razor Ice stacks on the target. So, start a Frozen Onslaught that strikes twice, unleashing the Chilling Essence of Winter, dealing damage to all enemies caught in its wake. Okay, each enemy struck reduces the damage dealt to the next. Okay, we're not. What is that? Is that like a Chill Streak? Is that what's going on there? Or we could do the Runic Power Spending abilities with a chance to additionally deal 47%, and then you could also have Breath of Syndragosa, which is another 1.5 minute cooldown. Or just breathing on enemies, right? Consuming a Killing Machine or Rime increases the duration. Deals reduced damage to secondary targets. Okay. I mean, we could try it. We could try it out. Interesting. So, a lot of, like, I don't know. Frostbane's better on dual 200? Yeah, I don't think Frostbane is what I want. I don't know if I want to click around too much. Oh, we could just put it on this. Yeah. We'll just put it on my Apex talents. F it. But this build does seem to love, like, Rime. Doesn't it? I have no idea what I'm doing on Frost DK, but I don't think you need to know what you're doing in order to, like, kind of just get it going. We'll experiment, though. You have Death Chill. Remorseless Winter and Chains of Ice apply Death Chill, rooting the target. So Remorseless Winter, all targets within 8 yards are afflicted with Death Chill when it's cast, and then When you chains of ice target already afflicted by your chains of ice, they'll afflicted by a death chill, right? So you don't really need this root thing for sure if you have death chill. I feel like there's a lot of situations where I'm seeing kind of overlap between PvP talents and otherwise. Anyway, delirium. Howling Blast applies delirium, reducing the cooldown recovery rate of movement enhancing abilities. Right, we like that. That's super annoying to fight against, but it's super annoying or super fun to use. Enemies within 8 yards of you become enshrouded in winter, reducing the range of all their spells. That's funny. That's funny. Then you have everything else, I think. Bitter Chill. Change of ice reduces the target's haste. Ugh. Frost. DKs are so annoying. Death's Cold Embrace. Pillar of Frost grants you remorseless winter and increases its damage by 400% and its radius by 150. Right, that's the one where your movement speed is reduced. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's dink around on Frost DK, but those are the talents and stuff. Let's dink around and see what's going on. Let's go obliterate some fools. But definitely a lot of synergy. I'm seeing this in a lot of classes. I mean, Frost DK has always been a class that has a lot of passives. But I'm seeing a whole lot of like Rhyme and Howling Blast stuff. And Killing Machine and consuming, generating stacks and stuff. Let's go dink around and see how it feels, huh? Let's go dink around and see what's up. What's up, Bam? What up, what up? I bet. Gotta set up keybinds and stuff. I sort of imagine that, the one button rotation may not be reliable at this point, right? I feel like at least for Unholy DK, like it didn't know about the new abilities, I don't think. It was not quite working right. Don't need death code, don't need none of that. Yeah, like it didn't know to like Plague Strike. It's just having you fester in death coil. Nice, Bam. Are you planning to play any Legion Remix, or are you just logging in and just playing the game? Just checking stuff out. I don't think we went death coil, yeah? No, we don't. Dude, Frost actually has a lot of buttons, man. I don't think we actually press Glacial Advance. I think we might press Frost Scythe. I think we might do that. Do. Dude, Legion Remix is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Not crazy? Be popping off tomorrow. Doing some Marines, nice. Very nice. Okay. Give me this. Give me this. Alrighty. Let's get us started, you think, guys? Good. Okay. Get a little mount ski. The heck? Okay. You flexing good. Good. AWC has been crazy. This isn't good. Nice. Have they done one or two? New cursor? I guess, yeah. I guess. Sharper, huh? Okay, so I have no idea what I'm doing as Frost DK. But last time we played Frost DK, we were kind of like already like out of this little scenario, and so there were a lot fewer mobs. So this will be kind of fun.
The army of the light stands ready.
Take on the
steady travels.
the battlefield here as
For
Frost.
justice.
Oh, speaking of which, I think I can probably put my new neck on, huh? Go. Boom, big eye level gains. We're busting through. See ya. See ya. So, instead of being somebody that's commanding an undead army, we're just gonna be the one-man army. The one-man undead army. Guess me and Erator. I do tend to like Unholy better, but we will see how this feels. Going over here with Light Fang. We pop off on this dude, or what's up? We Frostlight this guy for like a Giga crit? I gotta get that off my bar. I have no idea what's going on. Like Frosty K just like procs stuff. I mean, I don't know, these guys do seem like they're kind of getting smashed. Just press obliterate and I think you're kind of good to go. Like Frosty K has always been the kind of thing where it's like, I think you just press what lights up and you're gonna be fine, I think. Just press whatever lights up, make sure you're pressing Frost Strike sometimes. Oosh. Frost Sight them if you feel like it, you know? Seems slow and sluggish. Let's see, I have 1% haste currently. So that doesn't really feel particularly sluggish to me, but I do definitely not have very much haste on my character. I slash one of these. Give him a little piece of that. I think I like pressing obliterate more. Oh, what the heck? Look at that animation. Kind of cool. We have to kill this guy too, right? Oh, come on then. I'm gonna get you some, big guy. Pop our little dragon on this guy. What do you think about that, big guy? Gets a Reaper's Mark on this dude. And Demon Hunter friend's gonna come help too, it looks like. Dude. Frost seems a little bit more melee than Unholy, at least, right? Gonna pop off once more. Yeah, so if you're not really like down with like the whole like Unholy army thing, you just an unstoppable Juggernaut Frosty K, you know? Kinda get down with that idea. You know, we're not empowering our rune weapon very much. Probably ought to do that sometimes. Because it gives me like a ton of little runic power as well. Or Frosty Strikes. Seems good. Seems good. They're gonna proc like Fury Warrior. Wait, what now? They can obliterate proc more? Or shorter cooldown? Well, there's not really any cooldown on obliterate. It's just a rune thing. But part of it might be the fact that I'm like not really weaving my runic power like users and spenders enough. So I end up running out of runes. I think there's definitely a considerable like skill issue component to anything that looks kind of weird about Frost DK. But maybe some classes will be a little bit different if you're kind of trying to do more crit stuff. Definitely like a lot of numbers popping up, like when we press like one obliterate, and might be like the little swords or little whatever happening, right? Little procs here and there. Things are definitely going off. I just assume it's a skill issue. Seem to kind of be chopping stuff down though, right? What's happening? Dude, they're under attack, man. They're under siege. Gotta come help them out. I mean, that seems like slow and sluggish to you? I don't know, I feel like my guy is like, I do like one attack and my guy like procs like 8 things. Like the animations like can't keep up with like the various like sights and explosions that are happening on a Frost DK. Things are definitely proccing. I don't know. Wonder if it helps with the room management? Yeah, it could. It could. I bet it does. I bet it do. I just want to smash obliterate. You know? That little AoE on the ground looks kind of cool. Like a Lich King skull armor kind of deal. Yeah. How does the Frostworm callback look? I don't think I have unlocked the ability to do that, but I would imagine it would come back towards you. But yeah, I'd have to unspec some things. Maybe I can. Do we care about long winter? For auto attack crits? There. Give me like 13 seconds and we'll call him back. Try it out. Warrior Apex talents are not in yet, but DKs are, so. Come back over here. Sorry, I did it indoors. Probably wasn't the best showcase. We'll do it outside next time. That'll look cool. Yeah, it just comes back. Yeah, just comes back. Yo, Kiston, thanks so much, man. Big flex for you, pumping us up. Thank you, dude. It's a good idea. Gotta try out the new stuff. Now, wasn't there something where I'm supposed to like runic empower during something? Proc something, but look at this. Like we obliterate, and then like scythes come out and stuff, and like we're shooting like little like frost glacial advance thingies. And definitely proccing a lot of stuff as frost. Things do seem to be kind of getting mowed down. Just pretty much following the go-to tried and true strategy of pressing whatever lights up, you know? Probably not optimal rotation, but getting the job done, you know? The Reaper's marking this fool. Slice. I think the Scythe is definitely more like when you have a lot of things to AoE. Take it though. See, a rune just reset there, or something happened. Come back, my beautiful. Yeah, took that guy out. Cool. That's funny. Yeah, Frosty K seems cool too. I feel like Unholy DK has like more going on. But Frost does well at what it does, I suppose. Yeah, just exactly. Just press whatever lights up. Press whatever's glowing and you'll probably be okay. Because I'm looking at these things and I'm like, so am I supposed to like track when like Rhyme does its thing so it like I'm using the proc correctly? It's like I don't think so. No, I'm pretty sure you just again press whatever lights up and then like Frost Strike so you don't cap out on stuff, right? I think you'll be fine. Like look at all these buffs. Like things are happening. Things are definitely synergizing. This is what it is. Thank you, Commander, and Big Flex for you pumping us up. I mean, so far, that's what I've played as Warrior and DK, and they both seem pretty cool. I think that tonight, we will probably end up playing Ret Paladin. And Triculon, where's he at? There he is. Yeah, tonight I think we'll probably play Ret Pally. And that'll be fun, too. Right, I don't think I need Glacial Advance bound, right? You don't actually press Glacial Advance, right? Maybe you would for like an AoE scenario, like an AoE runic power spender kind of thing. Is that correct? There. Put her there. Let's go get this guy. The heck? Where are these guys coming from? I don't really want to use coolies on these guys. We gotta light them up anyway. Just rhyming on them. You guys are gonna get me in trouble, man. Yeah, not ridiculous damage outside of cooldowns, which is also normal for Frost. Come on now, bro. You guys are gonna make me pop off on you. You give me no choice. Gotta hammer him with the obliterates. Okay. Yeah, definitely things are procking. I feel like Windwalker was always complicated to play. I want to play, see how simple it is now. I bet. I mean, I liked Windwalker before too. That one can definitely be on the list. We're gonna run out of like time a little bit. I mean, we'll see. I'm pretty excited for Legion Remix. I didn't even come on back. I'm not even popping that with Pillar, but this guy's just getting owned. What the heck? I don't know if I've done as much damage as I have on this class. I think he just got destroyed by my my little dragon there. Scythe procking all over the place. Crazy. Put what in a macro, sorry? Empower maybe? No, I would imagine Windwalker will be good, but we definitely can put that on the list. Windwalker is a class that I definitely have enjoyed, but I think Rep Paladin is probably next. Probably next. You guys come on with me. Come on up. I played for 20 years Fury Warrior. Midnight, you made a Blood Elf Pally. Yeah, sure. Go for it, man.
Honor to you.
Oh boy.
Carry on the crusade.
You guys want a piece? Let me get you some. Yeah, Glacial Advance. Again, I should just unbind that probably so I don't accidentally press it. What are you doing? You guys aren't gonna like this. When you call it back, it can come from whatever direction. Apparently I pulled him into an evade spot though. Unlucky. Okay. Whatever. Okay, well, I think I can say Frost DK feels pretty good. Having no idea what I'm doing definitely pumps out damage, and as long as you press what lights up, you know, you get the job done, which is standard for Frost DK, but it's still the case. Seems good. Seems good. All right. Well, we could continue driving this, or we could do a rep pally like right now if we wanted to. That way we could play some other classes today too. Right, yeah, it's just your AoE spender. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Nice little AoE spender. Probably not gonna press that too much. Yeah, good to know. You guys wanna do a little bit of Rep Paladin real quick? I feel like we got the feel for DK a little bit. We can definitely play more. Hopefully we got the idea. Sure. Let's do it then. Let me fix this real quick though. I'm down. An evening. Let's get Bajhathor going. Big bad Bajhathor, baby. Yeah, I feel like Ret should be pretty smooth. All these dwarves are looking insane. I got them crazy eyes. That last one could have worked for Bajhathor. They really like that Wild Hammer tattoo, don't they? Maybe not. That's not quite Bajhathor, but close enough. The top knot. That'll work, bro. Bachelor, he's looking a little fierce these days, isn't he? We're gonna put some gear on him anyway. Bust him out, boys. Bust him out. He's seen some things. I know he's been through it. He has. Alright. Little Rep Paladini. Oh! They didn't even get me a starter build? This is your starter build. Okay. Well then.
People are experiencing visions of a radiant song all across Azeroth. We have reason to believe it's a warning of some kind. Meet me in Silithus. Perhaps Azeroth's speaker
I ain't
can
going to
shed some
Silithus,
light
bro.
on what this warning
Say that right
might
now.
mean.
We can read through these first, right? Just start here. I'd be down. Okay. Oh. Okay, just so that we don't redraw the talents, but not the hero talents. We can start in the hero talents. So good old Rep Paladin in Midnight Alpha is looking like this, boys. We got Herald of the Sun and Templar, which is normal, right? So, if you're not familiar, for Herald of the Sun, you have Dawnlight. I'm just going to click it so that I can actually start like setting up my builds at the same time. So, casting Wake of Ashes causes your next 6 holy power spending abilities to apply Dawnlight to your target, dealing radiant damage over time or healing. 8% of Dawnlight's damage and healing radiates to nearby enemies or allies. Right? So cool. We've got Morning Star. Every 5 seconds, your next Dawnlight's damage or healing is increased by 5%. Stack up to 10 times. Morning Star stacks twice as fast while out of combat. Okay. While a Dawnlight is active, your holy power spending abilities deal more damage. I'm gonna do that one. I mean, what's up with this? Your next Dawnlight's damage or healing it. Okay, whatever. Dawnlight reduces the movement speed of enemies. Oh, okay, and buffs up your allies' movement speed. It's this thing where it's like a combination. Everything has to have like a healing effect, like a positive and negative effect, right? So movement speed is just increased when above 80% health. When your health is below 35%, your movement speed is increased. You know what? Let's just put a slow on fools. Aurora. After you cast Wake of Ashes, gain Divine Purpose. Your next holy power spending ability is free and deals more damage. Great. Fun. Sun's Avatar. During Avenging Wrath, you become linked to your Dawnlights within 30 yards, causing damage over time or healing. Activating Radiant Glory applies up to 1 Dawnlight to nearby allies or enemies and increases Dawnlight's duration by 20%. Okay, whatever. Whatever that means. Eternal Flame. Oh, this is only Herald, huh? A little bit of self-healing or friendly healing. Damage healing over time effects have a chance to increase your next judgment damage. Okay. Or Dawnlight leaves an Eternal Flame for 6 seconds on allies or a greater judgment on enemies when it expires or is extended. A greater judgment. Sure. You have a 100% chance to gain Blessing of Anshe and generate 2 holy power when casting Avenging Wrath. Okay, whatever. There's not really a choice here, just good to know. Critical strike chance of Hammer of Wrath and Divine Storm is increased by 10%. Cool. Hammer of Wrath and Divine Storm critical strikes cause the target to burn for additional radiant damage. Okay. Divine Storm and Hammer of Wrath have a 20% chance to gain or sorry, to cast again, so you get like the double hammer, double divine storm. It's kind of cool with increased effectiveness. Or we could stop doing all this silliness. We could do whatever this is. Dawnlight's duration is increased by 0.3 seconds whenever struck by divine storm or Templar's verdict. Okay. Your haste is increased by 2% for 12 seconds each time you apply Dawnlight. Okay. And Dawnlight's critical strike chance is increased by 50% during Avenging Wrath. Okay, cool. Great. Let's set up Templar 2, I suppose, just for fun. Yeah, Templar seems cool. I think a lot of people play Herald of the Sun currently in retail, but who knows? Templar is like a heavy dunker hit, isn't it? We have Light's Guidance. Wake of Ashes is replaced by Hammer of Light for 20 seconds after it's cast. Okay. So hammer down your enemy with the power of the light, dealing a whole bunch of holy damage, up to 4 nearby enemies. Additionally, it calls down an Empyrean hammers from the sky to strike enemies versus a little bit more holy damage. Okay. So Hammer of Light instantly calls down 2 Empyrean hammers on your target when it casts. Cool. Wake of Ashes surrounds you with a holy barrier. Hammer of Light heals you for your max health a little bit. Any overhealing becomes a barrier. Do we want defense? Maybe. Casting Judgment increases the damage of Empyrean Hammer by 5% for 12 seconds. Or Empyrean Hammer has a chance to crit. I mean, we'll just take the damage. Let's see. After casting Hammer of Light, you call down an Empyrean Hammer on a nearby target every 2 seconds. Okay. Crusader Strike, Hammer of Wrath, and Blade of Justice extend the duration of Shake the Heavens. Have we figured out what Shake the Heavens is quite yet? This. Okay, right. Calling it an Empyrean Hammer is that. Okay, cool. Final Verdict and Divine Storm calls down an Empyrean Hammer on a nearby enemy. While Shake the Heavens is active, this effect calls down additional Empyrean Hammer. All kinds of hammer action going on here. When Empyrean Hammer critically strikes, 50% of its damage is dealt to nearby enemies. Enemies hit by this effect deal 5% reduced damage. Defense? Pfft. Don't want that. Utility? Pfft. You receive 20% less damage from Blessing of Sack. Sure. You gain movement speed. Okay. Divine Steed lasts longer and buffs your movement speed. Okay. Hammer of Light applies Judgment to its target. Increase your haste by 50%. I mean, that's kind of nice. Haste is cool. But you gain a stack of Light's Deliverance when you call down an Empyrean Hammer. While Wake of Ashes and Hammer of Light are unavailable, you consume 50 stacks of Light's Deliverance, empowering yourself to cast Hammer of Light an additional time for free. Oh, the double dunker. I like that. So, Divine Toll summons Divine Hammers that spin around you. Interesting. So that used to be a talent, right? We'll try that. That's new, right? Empyrean Hammer deals 20% increased critical strike damage and critical strikes have a 50% chance to grant an additional stack of Light's Deliverance, right? Light's Deliverance. I know we just read all this stuff, but this one right here, okay. The double dunker, cool. Divine Toll, cast 2 additional times on your target. Oh, wow. Final Verdict damage increase. Oh, wow. Those are both cool. So we'll take the Final Verdict. Let's do Templar. I think Templar seems more interesting to me than Herald of the Sun. Let's do the double dunker Templar status. Okay, so now we can read through all these talents before we pick some. Sound good? Templar is what folks play? Yeah. Nowadays? That's cool. Hey, Wookie. So you have Lay on Hands, which is like your first on talent. Just a gigantic heal that gives you, you know, a full health basically, right? And grants the target 30% increased armor. Cannot be used on a target with forbearance. It causes forbearance. You also have Auras of the Resolute. I think we're going with Devotion Aura, right? That's the one that we have. I guess we can choose. Devotion Aura is what I want though. Party and raid members are bolstered, reducing damage taken by 3%. Great. Do Concentration Aura for interrupted silence shorter effect, and then you can also just do more mounted movement speed. Then we have Hammer of Wrath. During Avenging Wrath, Judgment is empowered into Hammer of Wrath. That's different, isn't it? Hammer of Wrath used to be just different. Now it hurls a divine hammer that strikes an enemy for more damage, generates holy power. Hammer of Wrath used to just be its own ability, yeah? Not anymore. Now you can cleanse toxins. Cleanses a friendly target, moving all poison and disease effects. Lay on Hands grants target armor. Right, but that's just baked into this thing because of the talent. Okay, gotcha. Fist of Justice, we're going to want that. Blind, sure. Don't you do it. Okay. You weren't even giving me an guided build experience anyway. Oh, you know what? I think these will be different depending on what we look at, huh? Interesting. Whatever. Sure, we'll take that too. So Blinding Light is like a big AoE blind. Turn Evil, you can like fear demons and stuff. Like a little casted ability. So adjust reward after cleanse toxins successfully removes an effect from the ally. They are healed. Cool. After you spend 20 holy power, your next word of glory echoes onto a nearby ally, or the cooldown of lay on hands is reduced by up to 60% based on the target's missing health. And word of glory healing is increased by 100% of yourself. Okay, I want that. I don't think I'm taking any of this stuff. Do I have to use this? Anyway, let's just read them before I figure out what I'm picking, huh? Divine Steed. Leap atop your charger for 3.6 seconds, increasing movement speed by 100%. Usable while indoors or in combat. Okay. Light's Countenance. We already picked that. That's just resource reduction. Judgment causes the target to take 20% increased damage for next holy power ability. That has to be on there. Greater Judgment isn't required. And then you either have a faster cast time or an AoE fear. Okay, cool. For demons. Forbearance duration is reduced by 10 seconds. That's cool. 2 charges on Steed. Steed's cooldown is reduced, but it's so is its duration. Okay, interesting. The Divine Steed also grants freedom. Yeah, need that. Or Blessing of Freedom. You can give that to a teammate. I don't know, just freedom yourself. Call it good. For now. A little pummel. It'd be nice. Obduracy. Speed increased by 2% and damage taken from area of effects reduced. I mean, probably click that. Divine Toll, we want that. Instantly cast Judgment on up to 5 targets. Divine Toll's Judgment deals 100% increased damage. Cool. Unbound Freedom, Blessing of Freedom increases movement speed. Yep. Armor increased. Yep. Probably 2 of those. Successfully interrupting an enemy with Rebuke cast Crusader Strike. I mean, maybe. Maybe I take that. The radius of your auras is increased a little bit. Brought to the light, killing an enemy that yields experience or honor causes you to explode with holy energy, healing up to 5 allies and yourself. Okay, interesting. Blessing of Sack, utility. Ugh. After casting Divine Toll, you instantly cast Judgment every 5 seconds. Yep. That's kind of fun. Bop, we'll take that, sure. Fear no evil. Fear duration on you is reduced by 20%. This effect is increased to 60% during Avenging Wrath. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Consecrated Ground. Consecration is larger, and enemies within it have reduced movement speed. Divine Hammer is 25% larger, and enemies within them have minus 873% in reduced movement speed. Okay, that doesn't... that seems like we need to test that. Could just be a tooltip thing, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. So, armor and critical strike chance increased with Holy Aegis. You know, let's click that. Let's click that so we can click this for fun. Reduce quota of Blessing of Sack. After Blessing of Sack ends, I don't care. I'm not. I mean, no, I need to read it. 50% of total damage diverted. Added to your next judgment as bonus damage or a bonus healing on Word of Glory. The effect's bonus damage cannot exceed 30% of your maximum health. Then its bonus healing cannot exceed 100% of. That's actually kind of cool. Recompense. Then we've got Holy Power spending abilities have a 2% increased damage and healing. Okay. Holy Power spending abilities have a 10% chance to make your next Holy Power spending ability free. Oh yeah, let's do Divine Purpose. Plus your protection is a shorter cooldown. Reduce the cooldown of your Divine Shield. Yep, do that. Divine Storm heals you. Okay. Divine Steed reduce the cooldown of 4 nearby allies' major movement speed thingies. That's actually insane. Ret Warrior with like reduced cooldown on charge and leap and stuff. That sounds awesome. Do I want that? Maybe I do. Worthy Sacrifice. You automatically cast Blessing of Sacrifice on an ally. Ooh, auto sack. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I need. Then Blessing of Sacrifice now removes the prevents all poison. I mean, that would be like, I don't know if that's good. Maybe in PvE. Allies are healed for a certain amount when you cast a Blessing of Protection or Blessing of Sacrifice on them. Okay. Allies affected by your blessings have movement speed increase. Cool. Divine Protection increases healing taken. Okay. And Light's Revocation is removing harmful effects with Divine Shield gives you 10% for each, or heals you for 10%, right? It cannot exceed 30%. Okay. It will now be castable for Baron's active. You probably click it just for that note alone. Consecration can heal you. your teammates. Or Flash of Light is more effective on your allies, and some of that healing heals you. Okay. Word of Glory gives you bonus armor, potentially. The duration of stun effects on you is reduced by 20% with Stoicism. Oh, nice. So you have the fear reduction and stun reduction. Sounds kind of interesting, Dark Warrior. Thank you so much, man. A big flex for you pumping us up. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you. Mastery and strength increased? Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy. We better click that all the way. Shield of Vengeance. Yeah, we're going to want that. We have to go through this to get it, though. Yeah. Vengeful Wrath. Hammer of Wrath deals with 25% additional damage based on, yep, a low health. Oh my god, my talents are gone. What happened? Okay, eye for an eye. They receive holy damage each time they strike you during Divine Protection and Divine Shield. Okay. Right, Consecration heals you, or Flash of Light does some stuff. While you're above 85% health, 5% of all damage taken by allies within 20 yards is redirected to you. Interesting. 10% of all healing done to you from other sources heals people around you. Cool. Damage taken reduced by 10%, increasing as your health decreases. Okay. Well then, it's kind of cool. Well then, neat. Okay, so that's all of the just normal paladin stuff. Now we have the ret stuff. In particular, now some of these things will be specific to Templar, I imagine, like the Apex talents. Let's just read them. Art of War increases the damage of your next Blade of Justice by 150%. Avenging Wrath grants you Art of War. Avenging Wrath further decreases the damage, or sorry, further increases the damage of your Final Verdict and Divine Storm by 20%. Good lord. And during Avenging Wrath, Blade of Justice unleashes a wave of holy energy, dealing a bunch of holy damage to its primary target, and more to its other enemies in the past. So does this change if we're playing Herald of the Sun? Take a quick gander. I feel like a lot of the capstones are like utility. Okay, so it's the same whether you're playing Herald of the Sun or not. Interesting. Ret is just Ret. I guess that makes sense, right? Or does it? Actually, not sure. Because, I mean, the arms ones didn't change depending on whether you were... Well, we actually don't know what the warrior ones were like. I guess the Frost DK ones didn't change whether we were Deathbringer or whatever. Okay, whatever, sorry. Like, Ret has just one DPS. Paladin has one DPS spec. Anyway. Blade of Justice is, you pierce enemies with a Blade of Light, dealing damage. But this gets all powered up by that. That's kind of cool. Divine Storm, you have to take it, I guess. Just a little AoE, Holy Power Spender. Blade of Justice causes the target to burn with Expurgation. Swift Justice, reduce the cooldown of Judgment by 2 seconds and Crusader Strike by 2 seconds. Or, reduce the cooldown of Blade of Justice. I mean, if we're going to be Blade of Justicing fools, I mean, maybe that's good. With this. Judgment deals 10% increased damage and increase your movement speed. I like that. That sounds fun. If you have greater judgment, it also slows them. I like that. I might want that. Then we have Avenging Wrath, replaced by Radiant Glory. Okay, good to know down there. Call upon the light to become an avatar of Retribution, increasing your damage, healing, and critical strike chance. You know, just good old wings. It's a 1 minute cooldown by default, unless it's being affected by talents, but it's also being replaced by whatever it is, Radiant Glory, right? Okay. So then we have Final Verdict. Huge heavy hitter. Has a chance to reset the cooldown of Judgment. I think that's a talent, though. Let's see. So, Blade of Justice now has 2 charges, or Blade of Justice gives you more holy power. Okay. I feel like you might want more charges, though, right? For this thing? You can do 2, like, Giga Slashes. That sounds kind of cool. See how that plays out. Each holy power spent has a 6% chance to reduce the cooldown, or reset the cooldown of Blade of Justice, and increase the damage of the next cast, or your auto attacks have a 15% chance to reset the cooldown of Blade of Justice and increase its damage. I think that's better, yeah? It's auto attacks? I mean, holy power might be better, but this also looks bugged, tooltip wise. I mean, you're always spending holy power from range. You're not necessarily always auto attacking, but okay, we'll take that. So Final Verdict and Blade of Justice deal more damage. The range of Final Verdict and Blade of Justice is now increased to 20 yards, right? Divine Storm projects an additional wave of light, striking all enemies 20 yards in front of you for 20% of Divine Storm's damage. Okay. You don't really need that, do you? Pick something else. The critical strike of holy power generating abilities grants you 5% haste. Okay, critical strike, so a little bit more crit sort of synergy there. Enemies hit by divine storm take 20% more damage from consecration and divine hammers, right? You deal a 5% increase holy damage for enemies burning from expurgation. Okay. I mean, you could do that. That's easy. Judgment now has 2 charges, or Judgment generates additional holy power, has a 50% chance to trigger High Lord's Judgment. Right, okay. You can always move it over here for that too, right? Auto attack speed is increased by 40%. Okay. Crusader Strike and auto attacks deal 20% increased damage and more crit damage. Alrighty. Blade of Justice now hits nearby enemies for some AoE. Alrighty. Crusader Strike has a 50% chance to make your next Divine Storm free and deal additional damage. They just love these cleave things, which are not that great for PvP, but probably good for PvE. High Lord's High Lord's Judgment Mastery is 50% more effective on Judgment and Hammer of Wrath. Judgment applies an additional stack of Greater Judgment if I have it, which I do. Crusader Strike loses a charge, but now strikes twice. Templar Strike slashes an enemy. Right. And it always crits, huh? Crusader Strike and Judgment hit an additional 4 targets, but deal less damage to secondary targets. Okay. Your damage over time effects deal 10% more damage. And I guess we do have expurgation, but like, what else do we have? Like, I feel like that's not that good. What me? I mean, are we expurgating? Yeah, I guess we are. Okay, whatever. Where were we? Here. So Templar Strikes, Judgment, Blade of Justice deal more damage. Okay. And then Execution Sentence, just kind of cool. So you do a bunch of damage up to 10 seconds. They suffer 10% of the holy damage you dealt to all targets affected by the initial blast. So is this like Execution Sentence plus Final Verdict together? Probably. And then Holy Power spending abilities deal more damage. After casting Execution Sentence, your next 2 Holy Power abilities will refund that Holy Power cost. Okay. It sounds kind of like Final Verdict and Execution Sentence put together. It's because it does like a big AoE, and then all the holy damage that everybody took gets combined into that one guy. Kind of crazy. The blue Judgment for the slow. This one? Instead of that, yeah. I like what you're thinking, bro. I like what you're thinking. So good old Wake of Ashes. Lash out at your enemies, dealing a whole bunch of damage. And applying Truth's Wake. Burning targets. Right, but then we have this little burning thing too, right? That's only from Expurgation. Then this is more dot damage, I guess, if we happen to care. Doesn't do very much. Generates 3 Holy Power. Wake of Ashes deals way more damage to secondary targets. But now causes you to, significantly less damage to secondary targets. But now it makes you do more attacks. And then you have Radiant Glory, which is Avenging Wrath is replaced with Radiant Glory. Wake of Ashes activates Avenging Wrath for 12 seconds. Okay, so it's like a shorter cooldown wings activator. Or when Truth's Wake critically strikes, its duration is extended by 2 seconds. Your other damage over time effects deal 30% increased damage to targets affected by Truth's Wake. So this is kind of nice if you wanted to do like, you know, Templar with this kind of stuff, right? We also have Divine Wrath. Increases the duration of Avenging Wrath or Crusade by 4 seconds. Cool. Avenging Wrath empowers your next single target. Holy Power. Ability to automatically activate Divine Storm. Right. And then you have Crusade. Avenging Wrath now grants you haste. Each Holy Power spent during Avenging Wrath increases haste by a bunch. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Do we have any new PvP talents? You have Luminescence. There's a little heal around you. I don't think I didn't see anything new. You? I don't think so. Oh, nice, though. Yeah. Let's see. Light reveals all enemies in stealth or invisible to you while in Divine Shield. That's cool. Let's see. Dude! Certificate of Achievement in Subtraction. Way to go, man! Woohoo! You're the first kid to get both your addition and subtraction. Guys, check that out. Archer's got his Certificate of Achievement in addition and subtraction, awarded for demonstrating fluency of subtraction by answering all beginning subtraction facts in under 6 seconds. speed ran them bad boys. Yeah, I'm just gonna try Templar first, but yeah, I guess if you want damage over time, yeah. Go Archer! Woohoo! Blasted those bad boys, speed ran them. All right, well now that we've not so speed run our ret talents, let's go ahead and set up our actual character with some buttons and go take on the void. Well, then us and see what it feels like to play the class. Like, I mean, we set something up, it looks like. Let's go give it a try, right? Archer, that is awesome, man. Chat is super excited for you, dude. Everybody's pumped. Everybody says, go Archer, woohoo! Good boy. All right. This looks fine. I'm kind of curious about execution sentence though. Should we try that? This seems kind of cool, right? Execution sentence seems interesting. I think we do want to just buff our stuff though, right? Alright. Alright, brave Badger Thor. Let's get you set up for battle, brother. Get you ready to rock. Okay. I don't think we'll be needing the one button rotation helper for this guy. If I'm playing like a brand spanking new class, maybe it could be okay, but I think we're alright for now. The Charger cannot fly though, right? No, it cannot. Try to Griffin then. Pretty Badger-Thor-esque, isn't it? What up, what up? Dude, the Hell Squish? Yeah, just good old number squish. Yeah, he's a good boy. I think he understands that school is important. I mean, we try to help him understand that too, of course. We do. But he's also just a good boy. Like, I think he understands with our help that, yep, you gotta go to school and you gotta do a good job listening and following directions, because that's like your main objective at this point, you know? That's your main job right now, is to listen and do a good job at school, and as long as you're doing that, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do at home. You get to play just about as much iPad as you want and play video games and watch shows as much as you want, because you do a good job at school, and when it's time to be done with those things, you call it good for now, right? That's a good boy. What is he doing over there, Archer? He wants you to love on him all the time. His little kitty cats are so happy he's home. Alright. The floofs. So, right, so Judgment automatically becomes Hammer of Wrath. Okay. Gotcha. We don't need to worry about none of that silliness. This is Wings activating. So, I mean, what else we got? Divine Toll somewhere? Suppose. Okay. It automatically casts Shield of Vengeance now. Cool. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Where's the glory? We appear to be about set up, I guess. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Right, just got nerfed on Wowhead, yeah? Well. It was pretty powerful there. What happened to it? We were playing a little bit of Badger Thor in Modern WoW, weren't we? Where's my steed? There's Divine Steed. And it automatically casts Freedom now, right? Divine Steed everywhere. Yeah, I think we're just gonna send it. Give it a go. An increase versus more? Oh, geez, yeah.
Pleasantries can wait. Fight well. Shorel Arag.
Here we go.
Fight well.
All right, boys. Into the breach. I haven't played much Ret, so bear with me. I do feel like Ret, like... Ret really doesn't have the rain buttons. But maybe we can find a way to be bad at it. We were playing Templar, so... What was the deal with the hammer? Wake of Ashes is replaced by Hammer of Light for 20 seconds after it's cast. Okay. It just sort of becomes it automatically, and then it just starts dropping hammers on pools regardless. Seems to be the case. Let's give it a try.
Anaria Shala. Remain vigilant.
Chronokai Crystal. Light guide us.
What up, bro? Into battle, Bajathor. Into battle we go. Are we gonna go crazy and pull 2 mobs? Light them up, Bajathor. Wait, does this require holy power for me to cast the hammers? How much? 6? 5? Earn. Costs a lot of holy power to cast these hammers. Try it again. Boosh. The animation looks cool. Look at our little hammers we got going on now. Better heal up, man. I'm about to get toasted by these void front pummelers over here, man. Gotta watch out, Anglo-Sax. Thanks so much for the 87 months, man. Big flex for you pumping us up, dude. Doesn't still increase damage hammer? If it's a holy power spender, I would imagine so, right? Oh! Smoked them. That is such a crazy animation for that attack. That's a little slashed, by the way. Why am I just dead, though? I need to work on this being dead thing. Is it just holy power spending that we gotta do some more of to get my stuff? Get him, Bajathor. Don't let him push you around. Get him, little fella. Oh, do I have a link for what now? There should be a talent if they didn't remove it, so Judge procs more. Some more damage can... So... We just went through all the talents. And maybe we have what you're talking about. I think Judgment is supposed to increase the damage of holy power spenders. What was that? What's the guy for 20,000? Oh, we don't have healing salve. Oh. I think we can go get it upstairs, though. What happened? Evade. Boom! Right, so look at this little wave of light that comes out. Is that cool? Kind of cool. And then we have Hammer of Wrath. Interesting. I don't think I should be here. We should not be fighting all these guys at one time. Oh, unless we should. Unless it's my destiny. Yeah, that hammer slam looks crazy. I mean, that's not new. I just haven't really played much Ret. Like, even into War Within. But the steeds! We gotta get out of here, man. But the steeds! But we do have, You kind of have to press Crusader Strike again. You don't just have it for free. I don't really feel like I have a lot of passive healing, but I think we also just didn't like spec for it. When did when did Alpha drop? It became available last weekend, Benny said. And it's, yeah, Thursday. We got to play a little early for some of this cool stuff that Blizz will let us do, which is awesome. But I don't think it's currently just open alpha, so may not actually be available for everybody yet. Right? Don't know if plays it. Yeah. And we got some special early access, which is super crazy cool. Very grateful for that, dude. I feel kind of naked without my Unholy DK pets currently, honestly. Yeah, I gotta quit getting into fights with these things. Look at this sort of justice AoE though. It's kind of crazy. Leave, Azure. You got nothing to prove, man. Oh, 40. What we can do is lay on hands though. I feel like I should just rotationally lay on hands. I just don't feel like sitting there pressing flash of light, you know? Still a long cooldown though. Sheesh, man. Am I still getting chased? What do you want, man? What is wrong with you? Why are you making me do this? Boosh! Those extra Empyrean hammers coming in though. Alpha keys? No. It's just your account is flagged kind of thing. And I don't know if we have like a timeline for like this sort of next waves or anything like that. I did ask, but I don't think they have like a timeline for that for you guys. Skablam, dude, that is a lot of demooch. I don't know what is hitting for 80. Is that the expurgation? Because whatever that is, that's not worth. If I had to put points into it. Pulse, thank you so much, man. A big flex for you. Pumping us up for 46 months, man. Thank you, dude. I think tomorrow's the next wave. Could be wrong. I mean, you could be right, though. You could be right. Tomorrow is also Legion Remix. So, let's see. You want a what now? You do? Me too. It'll be really fun. We'll do that tomorrow. Hopefully your little voice is feeling better. Jenny definitely like blasted her voice to smithereens. She was singing her heart out at our Bring Me the Horizon concert. Oh, that is some demooch. I like that for Rep Pally. Let's go. How's Alpha? It's pretty fun. Pretty fun. Yeah, we got to get Jenny's voice healed up so she can hang out with us on stream tomorrow. What time does Legion Remix begin? Do you guys know? Is it just like upon reset? Is it early in the day or is it later in the afternoon? Let's see. Performance between Warrior or DK for Legion? Oh man. Yeah, Jenny will be ready to rock. Yeah, we'll see what's up tomorrow. Should be fun though, no matter what. You're shooting me. Like I'm not pressing enough holy power spenders. 3 p.m. PST? What? For remix? That's like when I get off the stream for the daytime session. Jenny's gonna be carrying the squad for that. He's gonna be running the show for the remix, sounds like. I mean, Red is definitely, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but Red is definitely doing some damage. Are they shooting me? Bro, I am dead.
Peace, friend.
Erator, help me. Territor, help! Oh, don't let him get me. Nice, he's tanking for me. My hero, he did save me. Fool. Got him. Got him. That's always doing damage. Yeah, that's crazy. But so normal maintenance is supposed to last that long? Ain't no way, bro. I mean, we'll play alpha if we can't play remix, but I was pretty excited to get into remix tomorrow. How do I feel about alpha so far? I like the vision. I think I see a little bit about what they're thinking about with like class design and sort of paring down some ability bloat. I'm seeing what they're doing. I think I got an idea of it, and I like it. I think they're cooking. On the cook to cooking scale, I think they're cooking. You know what I mean? I'm liking what I'm seeing. Remix and Turbo Boost at the end of the month as well. Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun too. Because we have been doing some PvE. Turbo Boost doesn't really, I think, make as much of a difference to us because we're not really raiding. But we could. I do kind of want to get Jenny in some of the raids just for fun. She's been hammering him at the Plus. Which has been pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's good. I think they're cooking. It doesn't feel like dumbed down, but it does feel a little bit like there are some things that are like combined with each other, or it's like everything has some kind of like synergy where it may not have before, and some things that don't have synergy are just like not there. Now some things that were nice, like Ignore Pain for Warrior, are no longer there. But that's like a little bit worrisome. But we'll see how it goes. Dude, can you guys stop? I'm trying to leave. You guys out here testing my patience, man.
We stand together. We didn't come this far to falter now.
I guess my hammers are still smacking. I really don't. I don't think Rhett really had a lot of reason to do crit, right? Stop it. Boosh.
We have made many sacrifices.
Okay, I don't feel like it's odd because Red is like a legit hybrid, but I feel like my recovery as Red isn't as good as DK or Warrior with just Victory Rush. But there was a talent where I could have Victory Rush. Right? Like when I kill something that gives me honor, I could be healing myself. It's in there somewhere, yeah. It's in there somewhere. Maybe I should. I really didn't take much utility. So I don't know what I'm complaining about. That doesn't really feel that bad though. We're kind of popping off. Oh, I just sort of healed him passively just by like existing. You got it, bro. Happy to help. Slammed. There was a time early on in War Within where like that gigaton hammer didn't have a cooldown or something. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll be playing Legion Remix. Yeah, looking forward to it. Yep. Yep. That was a cool interview, huh? Really nice of them to take the time. They had done a billion interviews by that point, I'm sure, but it was still really cool to talk with them and to be able to get a variety of questions. We're talking about PvP, talking about Prey, talking about like transmog, talking about all kinds of stuff. They were very generous with their answers and with their time, so appreciate that. Very cool. Hope you guys liked it too. Dude, if you want to play a mage and a demon hunter, the new demon hunter is an intellect class. Like, what the heck, huh?
The eternal sun.
What the heck?
guides us.
Red feels pretty chill to play though. Especially since I'm like a big noob at Red, right? chilling, we're chilling. I'm sure Rhett will feel good to have a little bit more gear too. Because remember, we start off with like super potato characters in this little scenario that we start off in. We're in like, probably like about boosted gear, if even. So, not real strong at this point in our characters' lives. I feel like a lot of the talents that I'm seeing in this are like trying to find ways of doing AoE and whatnot, and that was kind of the same thing with like Frost DK. So we're definitely seeing a lot of like building your character out for like Mythic Plus, but not necessarily exclusively, right? So remember how fast we were killing this thing as Unholy DK? I think Rhett's doing its dang thing too, right? I think we do need a prio blade of justice a little bit more. Some more judgments out. So we have 4 stacks of judgments on this guy. Wow, okay. Killed him in like 30 seconds, yeah. Not bad, not bad. So yeah, Rhett feels good. It feels like it's flowing nicely, I think. Chunkin' and dunkin'. We could try the Templar one too if we wanted, but yeah, we'll see. Will they put in a difficulty in Prey? Yeah. I think it's definitely the kind of thing that won't be too tough eventually, but I don't know if you heard in the interview, they said it would, like, they were definitely not sure. But you can't really, like, kind of hold them to this or anything. But it probably scales like Delves. It probably scales like other, like, world content, right? That's kind of the impression that I got. It'll probably scale like all that stuff in the bottom tier of your vault, right? So it probably won't be like crazy hard, but who knows? Who knows? Still should be a lot of fun though. If oddowns like Gladius are allowed at midnight, I'm not sure what all is gonna sort of survive the purge. Let's see. Let's see. All right, Rhett seems pretty cool. Pretty cool, Mr. Bajathor. We'll keep playing this one. What else are we interested in? Like Windwalker? Somebody was mentioning. We could try Rogue, but I'm pretty sure I would die instantly as a Rogue. Not sure I don't know if we can quickly do Rogue. But Red Paladin I think feels pretty good, man. Feels pretty standard. The biggest kind of like, whoa, this is crazy is Unholy DK. And for somebody else about the buff, this is just phase 2. Okay, cool. We'll go Ret Pally, man. Feels pretty good. At least Templar. We could try Herald as well, but I think it's probably the same sort of deal, right? Just different different sort of power up. I like that big chunk of the Hammer Slammer. That's cool. Enhancement, yeah, okay. All right, we'll see. We'll see. The GG to Ret though, feels good. Feels good. Enhancement would probably be a little bit of setup, yeah. If we just use the 1-button rotation. I'm kind of curious about Monk. Really. Kind of curious. Demon Hunter is probably straightforward, though. I tend to like Monk. We might be able to read through the talents and play a little bit of one more class, maybe. But we'll also do more, we'll also do more tonight. So when we come back for the evening stream, we'll do more of this kind of thing. Take a look at some classes and playing through just a little bit to get started. I'll be right back, though. Yeah, maybe Jenny and I will end up playing Alpha in the morning tomorrow, and then, we'll see. Alrighty. Ugh. I'm down for enhance. I am. That or Windwalker Monk. I feel like enhancement is one of those classes that does kind of have a lot going on. And so I guess I'm kind of interested to see how they maybe like pared it down a little bit. Monk 2 though. Oh. Monk 2. Right now we're only gonna have time to just like kind of look at the basics anyway. I mean, hey, we logged over and it said monk, so maybe we do monk. Dude, can Drac there be monks? I do our buff Jira. Why not both? We just don't have time for both. This stream. Tonight, yeah, we do. Tonight we will. That looks like Cobra Kai right here. He's ready. This guy looks serious. What's up, boy? Bam. Quit beating on me, boy. Quit beating on me, Bo dude. Mr. Nuss. Why you biting me, boy? Why you beating up on your sweet daddy? Your daddy who loves you so much. Why you beating on me, boy? Why you beating on your sweet daddy who just loves you with his whole heart all the time? Mwah. Buff Jira. Oh, wait, no, I spelled it with one F. Hold on a second. We gotta delete that instantly. Delete this character at once. I like the way he looks, though. Oh, so now the second try is Shaman, though. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Destiny is so confused right now. Doesn't know what to think. I like Bulk Jira a little bit more, but for some reason Bulk Jira was taken. My monk is actually named Buff Jira. I like the name Bulk Jira better. I've been naming a lot of my characters Bulk Jira recently. Actually, thank you so much, man. A big flex for you, pumping us up. We are in the bulk right now. About to make us some gains. Just gotta be patient, take some time, but it's happening. It's happening. The gains are slowly coming. My little skinny boy right now. Alrighty, what do we have here? What do we have here? Gents? I don't know if we're gonna actually like fully go through the talents here. I don't know if we will have time for that.
People are experiencing
But I'm kind of down to have
visions
a, like a
radiant
sort of
song all across Azeroth.
first
we have
look.
reason to believe it's a warning of some kind. Meet me in Silithus.
What do we got going here?
Azeroth's speaker can shed some light on what
This is
warning
Windwalker, yeah.
might mean.
Yeah, it is. Do these guys have their Apex talents yet? They do. Tiger Eye Brew is your Apex talent? Okay. You have a chance equal to your critical strike to increase the damage of your Fist of Fury by 15% each time it deals damage. Oh, God. What the heck? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. A lot more classes are going to have crit as like a reasonably good stat for them. What? You have a chance equal to your critical strike to increase the damage of your Fist of Fury by 15% each time it deals damage. How many times does Fist of Fury deal damage? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, pummels all targets in front of you, dealing physical damage to your primary target over 3.5 seconds. It's not once per second. How many times per second is it? Sounds kind of freaky. So if you crit it, it can go crazy. I need some buttons. Oh. Bad. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it does deal. It is 5. 5 times it deals damage. So it could potentially be dealing 75% more damage by the end, or 60% more damage if it only is going to track the first couple. Eesh. Eesh. That's big time. Funk is really fun, I agree. Do I ever want to... Says, boy, do I ever want to like Unholy, but it's so complicated. The changes make it any easier for casuals? I think so. I think so. You don't have to worry about wounds on a target anymore. I would imagine you just cast those 5 ticks faster. I don't think it would tick more because of haste. I think. Samson, you better quit trying to beat on me, boy. Get in your bed. Quit trying to beat on your daddy. Don't you dare, boy. Okay. I'm not doing any of this stuff. Leave me alone. You can't make me. You can't make me go to the Thing of Serenity. Can't make me go to Silithus either. Alright, yeah, we only have like 10 minutes, so we probably are not gonna wait for the video. Yeah, I got you. It's actually, even you can rewind today's VOD. But I'll go through the talents and stuff. Yeah, I got you. I'm not gonna be able to go through all the talents on this guy right now. What do people usually play? Probably this, huh? People play Conduit, looks like, I would imagine. Does the Fury Spinning Crane Kick do more damage? Oh, yeah. Movement speed with Celestial Conduit. Fortifying Brew gives you... Orb? This makes you take less damage during and after Celestial Conduit. Like a powerful wall on demand is kind of cool too, though, huh? It's kind of giving you a little bit of a heal, though. Might be kind of nice for leveling, probably. Okay, Tiger Palm has a chance to cause Zwen to claw your target. Okay. Sure. After Zwen assists you, your next Blackout Kick refunds 2 stacks. And Weeze out Stomp. Okay. We'll read through these more when we actually do this tonight. What's up, Slips? Yeah, man. No, Unholy DK is cool though. I like it. It's just it's more about you just sort of like building your own buffs and building your army. It's not the least complicated class, but it's definitely not like too much. Because before you were like managing runes, runic power, and wounds. Now you're still doing runes and runic power, but like you fester, which just gives you stacks on your character whenever you Scourge Strike. It just procs little dudes, and then you will try to blow up those dudes to turn them into Maguses, basically. So there's some things going on. Yeah. You get your character boost in alpha? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Calling all the boys, huh? So what's this one? Strike the Windlord and Whirling Dragon Punch call upon Yulon to increase the cooldown recovery rate of Fist of Fury. Oh, yeah. Channel time of Fist of Fury is reduced by 50% while Yulon is active. Oh, no. Okay. Heart of Jade Serpent additionally triggers for 4 seconds at 100% effectiveness after you cast Slicing Winds. Okay. Heart of Jade Serpent's increase your haste. Okay. So what is this Heart of Jade Serpent? This is all utility, right? Yeah. Like movement stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Right, if I do a starter preset, though, it's gonna, like, delete everything that we've done. Why is it acting like you're not even gonna talent soothing? I guess you don't have to talent soothing mist, do you? You know, instant vivify. That's like that's some utility. Yeah. This stuff is crazy looking. Paralysis becomes a soothe. Yeah. Nah. We gotta find something else to do. Sure. We don't need transcendence. Detox is okay. I probably just click this. I mean, where, dude? We have to click even more. I'll do that. Drawer removes a snare. Okay. What do you have here? Yeah. Expel harm. Transcendence heals you? Okay. A lot of this stuff is like PvE stuff, right? What's the TLDR for Warrior so far in the alpha? Looks good. I think Warrior fits well with the vision that they're trying to have, right? Does bulk season mean I can eat ice cream tonight? That's up to you, bro. I like to have cereal at night. It's not quite ice cream, but maybe a similar kind of deal. Carbohydrates and dairy. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, bro. I'm more adding white rice rather than ice cream. But the TLDR is that Warrior's looking pretty cool. Looking pretty cool. What's up? I'll do some touch of death. Oh, that's so nice. Little utility there. Okay. Nice. Not the Fruit Loops? No, I have a little bit of granola. But granola can definitely get sugary too. This one doesn't have very much sugar though. I think Fury Arm is going to be stronger. I don't know. It's hard to tell. And even if one was stronger right now, it's likely to change as time goes on. So, we'll see. Wife's been putting me on a diet since the last talk. Good. Cut macros again, so now I gotta struggle too. Yeah, you'll be alright. It'll be good for you. Enjoy it, bro. Enjoy just getting shredded. And that's awesome that you're supporting your girl too. I'm sure she appreciates that. That's fun to work on stuff like that together. It's fun. Yeah, we're gonna want some crit. Tiger Eye? Yeah, we should definitely try the new stuff. Definitely. Look at all these talents that monks have. What the heck? Your auto attacks have a chance to just kick him instead. That's funny. Or TOD. The duration of Fist of Fury. Oh, yeah. See, now we're... Ooh. That gives you even more chance to stack up this crit thing, huh? Crazy. This looks like AoE, but I'll click it. Seems interesting. I guess it's either one, though, huh? Maybe not. I think she has a chance to make your next spinning crane kick cost no chi. It's kind of cool. Rising Sun kick summons a Storm Spirit. What do you guys usually do in your monks? I'm trying to see, like, what's what here. Anything that says Fist of Fury, I'm interested in. Oh, we want that for sure. Oh, yeah, just automatically activating Dance of Shiji. Dude, oh my gosh, I'm allocating my points in such a way that I'm just like out of points before I even reach the almost the last talent here. You're gonna have to choose, huh? We got the Fist of Fury thing, man. Thunder Fist. Gets a win. This new talent system confuses you? Ah, it's fine. Just gotta look through it a little bit, or just get a build from somebody. That can work too. What is the quote on Touch of Death anyway? 3 minutes? We ain't doing that. I do want the Fist of Fury thing. We ain't doing a 3-minute cooldown though. I feel like these like either or talents, those are usually good ones to pick up. I do want slicing winds, I think. My goodness. Yeah, you have some options. I'm like trying to like figure out. Okay, so you can spec into Shiji mostly. You can do some crazy Zwen stuff. You can do Thunderfist stuff. I don't really care about the Storm Spirit thing. Do a lot of Rising Sun Kick business. Rising Sun Kick Cleave. Slicing Winds is just like a fun ability. So I just want access to that ability. Kind of cool. They doing Legion. So this is Legion Remix. You're definitely playing that, yeah. Legion Remix is like a whole different kind of game mode. It's like blasting through Legion stuff. Interesting. It's like blasting through Legion stuff to get like transmog and everything that's like available from Legion. It's almost like playing like Diablo plus WoW. Pretty cool. Like part of the article, YouTube may save you. Thank you so much, man. And big flex for you pumping us up, dude. Thank you, man. I am playing it, Hammy. If it doesn't come out until 3, it's gonna be a little bit of like a late start though. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, wow. Generates or spends chi? I'll try the generator first. Obviously, more damage sounds good too. I do want that though. That's a fun one. Fun ability. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Jade Firestomp. There's a lot of cool stuff with monks, man. Monks are neat. I really like monk whenever I play it, but I still don't play it that much. I generally just want to play warrior all the time. We'll set this guy up tonight and we'll look through the talents and play it. We kind of did that with Ret today, but I might want to mess around with monk a little bit before I like show gameplay. We'll see. I think generally it's good to just send it. Just get it out there for the homies. Remix coming out tomorrow. Correct, but it may not come out until late in the day tomorrow is kind of my concern, you know? Like, oh, nuts. If it doesn't come out until later in the day. Oops. That's pretty cool. Okay. Set this guy up just real quick here. Don't need that. That is weird. Okay. Little fart pufter. Right at the Windley Lord. Rez. I don't know what's up with that thing. Vivify, okay. A roly-poly move, great. Yeah, Monk. Yeah, they have a lot of abilities. Like Ret Paladin has like a couple. This is your big cooldown. Weapons of Aura, okay. We also have Zwen. Strike of the Windlord's your little one. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Definitely a little bit different than some of the classes that I've played so far. Monks seem to have retained quite a bit of utility and abilities. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Not against it. Definitely not against it. Just different. Is Whirling Dragon Punch a thing that I have normally, or do I have to actually spec for that? Let's see. Whirling Dragon Punch. Ah, it's either that or Strike of the Windlord. Ooh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, well. And it's that. A Ring of Peace? The Ring of Peace and Mop is so insane. Not here, though. Charge this bad boy up. Alright. I can. I can see your chat, yeah? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a big pig. That's a big pig. He's testing stuff out. Big pig. I usually ride around in a pig mount too. That is a big pig. Oh, snap. It's already past 3:30. All right, we got to go, guys. Got to peace out. I'll be back in about 4 hours. And we'll test some stuff out, okay? That'll be the plan. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for showing love. If you guys wanted to catch up on some of the DK or Ret stuff, that's just, you know, in the VOD for this one. When we come back later, we will probably mess around with Windwalker Monk and likely Enhancement Shaman, because I don't think it's going to take all day to do Monk stuff. Monk seems cool. I haven't played much Monk, so I'm a little overwhelmed by the talents, of course, but we'll mess around, figure something out, and we'll at least read through what they are, and that can help us kind of figure out what's up. Either way, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you in a little bit. Peace.